All right, it says we're live. Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit that notification bell. Get updates. Matt and I are trying to figure something out. That's why. Hey, Vanessa, how you doing? Trying to figure. And Dan, what's up? Trying to figure out something. So anyway, I randomly have a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I could do unboxings, and I was like, why don't I just do a live stream and do all of it at once? So that's why I decided to do this. And I was like doing these with the other guys. So I put it out there like, hey, if anyone wants to join. One of the things I want to talk about actually should be first, because then I'll open a beer. Did another delivery. And I know Matt and I have talked about this. Between curbside and delivering beer to your house, like that part is really rad. Like all the craziness going on in the world, it's like, oh, I can, just have beer delivered to my house. So I did the Artisanal Brewers again. I had done I did a local distillery, I did a couple of our local breweries, and I decided to go back to them, who were the first ones I had done. So the one I'm going to pour this is a newer beer for them. It's Daily IPA. And they've done a double Daily IPA for a while, and they decided to dial it down and do just an IPA version. So I'm going to pour that. I've done this one without the raspberry added. Raspberry in the glass is wit. Which is I think 4%, and then it has raspberry puree. And it's a local company providing the raspberry puree, which is pretty cool. Yeah, 4.6, and then you're gonna love this can art. So they partnered up with a local family who owns some different restaurants. So it's GSL Juice, and I think people might remember a logo that looks similar to that. They just did a double IPA version. This is an IPA. That sold out very quickly, so I did not get that. So let me pour this Daily IPA, and then Matt, I know you threatened me with some Miller High Life. I hope you have something better you're drinking.
I'm actually, for anybody who likes my mystery beers, you can pause it now or mute it now, so you just go away for about 30 seconds. Okay, while I do this, so I show Kyle. So if you see this is on you, I'm drinking something worse.
Okay.
I'm drinking Busch Light because I got it as a mystery beer. Yes. That must have been awful. But in the spirit of Miller High Life, I will crack mine now. And not only am I going to crack a Miller High Life as per tradition, I have my Miller High Life branded goblet with Ballantine, Lowenbrow, Pabst, and Schlitz on it, mind you. So I have the holy triumvirate of fantastical, delicious. Look at that label, man. Fucking champagne of beers. Yeah. God.
That's awful. That's awful for so many reasons. All right. Joe from the Beer Patrol. I hope the home delivery stays. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about that for sure. Like, how much stuff goes back the way it was before, including this. Did Kyle just say, I hope you have something better than Miller High Life? How dare you, Kyle? No, I was right.
You know what I mean, in the grand scheme of things, back to talking about what I hope stays. What I really hope stays is that Joe just stays away and never comes back on hangs or live streams. Because, not that he'd ever do it in the first place, but now he's just too, obviously he can comment. He has time in his hands, but no, he won't join. So I hope that stays the way it is.
Yeah, it's weird. Joe was invited to do this and is commenting, oh, we have someone else who wants to join. See, joining is fun, Joe. Mike from Nerd Sense. What's up, Mike?
How's it going?
Good. Yeah. You? Things good with you, man?
Yeah, that's hot and sweaty.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, we went for a walk today and got all nice and hot, and then came home and did this. So, yeah. But you drinking anything, Mike?
What? Say again?
You drinking anything right now?
I'm gonna do one of these.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, that beer is so good. I think I drank a second can.
Yeah, that's that was confessional time for me, talking about ketchup on hot dogs. That's probably one of the, even though it's called Bossy, so it's like, why are you talking about hot dogs, asshole? But But yeah, that's probably like one of my most commented videos ever. Like people going back and forth saying it's okay and it's not okay, and then you have people from overseas going, "What the fuck are you even talking about, dude?" Then people in Australia like, "We put ketchup on everything. What's wrong with you people?" So it was borderline an international incident, but it ended up being okay.
We made hot dogs the other day, and I put ketchup, mustard, and then I had sliced pickles, so I put one of those on too, which I thought was cool. So I have actually something I want to talk about and show and kind of get your guys' opinion on, and people watching as well. Feel free to chime in. So you guys in the chat or in the video know this. People in the chat wouldn't. So I bought M43 the other day. My wife wanted some like drinking beers at the house, so I'm like, oh cool. They're where I'm going to get some takeout. I bought a 4-pack. It was like $16. I'm like, this is wonderful. Pour her one in this glass. And she starts drinking and she's like, oh, this is off. This tastes like a light beer. What's wrong with this beer? And I'm like, it's one of the best beers in like the world. I'm like, what are you talking about? So like the next day I poured one into a regular glass and it was brown. And then I poured the third one into a regular glass and it was brown. And then I poured the last one and it was brown. So I contacted Old Nation and I'm like, listen, I'm not looking for money. I just want you to know, like I have pictures and stuff, like it's off. Like it shouldn't be brown. It tastes off. I've had this beer. I've actually even reviewed this beer. Like it's not good. And they got right back to me. And they said, we can't send you beer to make up for it, but we will send you a shirt. And I was like, well, I kind of did the whole thing as like, I don't want anything. And I was like, but they are offering me a free shirt. Would you have taken the free shirt? Or free shirt?
Yeah. Yeah, what's a shirt to them? $6.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like $6 to $8 for a one color printed tee, plus postage, media mail postage. They're probably dipping in about $10. That's probably their profit margin on that 4-pack, maybe a little bit less, but it's also showing goodwill. Customer service goes a long way, not just for loving a company, but just in general. Like I'm actually embroiled in 2 customer service things right now. One is going epically fantastic to the point where I just want to tell everybody to buy from a company, and another one's going horribly, and it disappoints me because I've been a loyal customer for this one company for so long, and it's just like, and it's not a cheap product. Like the thing I purchased was $2,000. You know what I mean? So, just to see them be okay with it is cool. And they can't send you beer, so you understand that, and let's put it this way: if you said, hey, your beer's fucked up, I want my money back, they probably wouldn't send that person shit. So it might be more so that you're like, hey, I don't want shit. I just want you guys to know it's all good. Did you now here's the thing. You sent them an email.
Yes.
Did you send them an email that was like Kyle Wolf, or did you send them an email with a signature that had Kyle Wolf and No Hype Beer Reviews in the signature?
I just did. It was like a generic email, and then I did say I have reviewed your the beers before.
Easy, yeah. So there you go. So I'm not saying they sending your T-shirt for that reason, because they could give fuck all about YouTube. Some people do, some people don't. But you let them know who you were. Does that matter? That's up in the air. But that could definitely skew some responses.
Oh, well,
yeah, but I mean, but
wants to come in.
So they could have thought that he meant that he reviewed it on Untapped or something. They might not have realized he was talking about.
Oh no! No, that's true. That's fair. Yeah.
I had said at the end of the email, I said, listen, I like your beers. I've had it before. I've actually even reviewed this, and I might have said like, and a couple others from your brewery. I'm a fan, and that's why I'm letting you know like this isn't the product you want. It was worded something like that. Actually, they sent me a couple stickers. Bless you, koozie.
Okay.
And the aforementioned shirts. Oh, and chapstick. Chapstick. So maybe I got all this extra stuff because
I'd wear that shirt too if it wasn't green. Oh no! Wait a minute.
That's actually.
Oh no! I'd wear that.
That's a dope.
Yeah, I'd wear that.
All right. Oh, and there's something else in the shirt. Anyway. So, Mike, I appreciate you coming, but no, Sean. Oh, we have. Speaking of international, this is about to get epic.
If it's Thomas, I'm leaving.
Uh-oh.
Off them, dude.
What's up, brother?
I just went to
wasn't kidding.
damn link in my stream in Messenger.
What happened?
I'm actually in bed.
Well, we see that, yeah. Oh, you didn't want to click on that?
Oh man, I just want to mess with you, bro. I just went to bed and I found a StreamYard link to your live stream.
So what are you drinking? I don't understand.
Water.
Nothing.
No. Nah, man.
Well, the question is, do you sleep with a t-shirt on, or do you just put it on for video purposes?
You want me to take my t-shirt off?
No, I'm asking if you sleep with a t-shirt on,
I sleep
or because only psychopaths sleep with t-shirts on. By the way,
That's true.
Take a t-shirt off if you want me, man.
that's okay, man. We don't need the white balance to blow out everybody's fucking video feed, man.
I think no t-shirt.
So, go ahead, Thomas.
I saw the link and I just figured I'm gonna mess with your live stream by popping into my bedroom. You know.
Hey, make sure you guys check out Thomas's channel for sure. And we are working on. You really are in bed. We are looking to do another. He and I had done a video together. We're looking to do another video with more of us together and try to get some more international things going, which would be really rad. Yeah.
Are your walls padded? It looks like you have like padded walls, like the way that seam is on the wall. It looks like it's padded. Are you in an asylum right now? Like, what's going on, brother?
Matt, you promised not to tell.
I figured they would take your phone at night. You're lucky. You got to keep your phone.
Yeah.
But
That's the one that's his burner, and he sneaks inside.
Oh, brother. That's too funny.
Oh man. Hey guys, no, I'm gonna leave, man, and have a great stream. We'll hook up soon, and I'm gonna drink a beer with you guys. Looking forward to it, and
good seeing you, brother.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Or have a good afternoon. What is it? What time is it?
It's like 7:15.
Good evening, then.
Thanks, Thomas. Always a pleasure, dude.
Peace, brother.
Talk to you guys. Bye.
Bye, Thomas. Yeah, we have been talking about setting up something with him to do in the near future, so be on the lookout for that. Budweiser Select 55, Carlos, do better. Rod J in the house. Cheers, guys. What's up, Rod? Just finished listening to, Rod was a guest on the Afro Beer Chick podcast, and I listened to that earlier today. That was fantastic. Definitely recommend that. But that's just saying,
just so you know, Thomas was threatening in the chat to sign in from his bed before he
was he really? Oh, I wasn't checking
Yeah.
my phone. That's too funny. That's too funny, man. No, I was gonna start talking about. I think I'll talk about the Hop Butcher beers next. Matt, did you figure out what we were talking about before?
I have not reviewed that beer. I don't think I've seen. I don't see it on my channel, man.
I could have sworn you just posted about it.
I typed in hop. Well, let me click on live.
You talked about like you like fake cherry flavor, not real cherry.
I don't see it, man. Unless my search in what's the name of the beer?
Citra and Simcoe. Oh, Circumpolar Cherry Cyclone. So, Mike, you guys got the Hop Butcher thing too, right? The package as well.
Sean got the package.
Sean. Sorry, Sean specifically.
Yeah, I think he's gonna hoard it and give me none.
Okay, I reviewed that beer because that's weird. Hop Butcher. I don't know why it didn't come up in my previous search. I reviewed that beer in February of 2019, so almost a year and a half ago. Okay,
so that's so random that I just got it right after you posted or did it just pop up?
No, I posted the video in almost a year and a half ago.
Okay, my bad. So it must have just popped up and I thought it was a new video. Okay, that's really weird timing then. Rod, you're right, man. They do seem to be popping up for sure. All right, so the one that we're talking about is this, and it's a cherry milkshake IPA. Citra Simcoe hopped milkshake double India Pale Ale with cherry and a vanilla, obviously lactose 7.5. How about this one? The one I really wanted to talk about, the Deep Wind.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine, Mike. Did you get this one, Matt?
I got that one. I already reviewed it. I didn't post it, obviously.
Okay. I thought this was a new one for them. This one... Oh, no, wait. This isn't the one I was talking about. Wait. What's the one that's like all cold? Oh, no, it is this one. My bad. Cold India Pale Ale. like they did more processes cold or something. I don't know. I gotta clarify.
Do you want me to give you my assumption on it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I didn't look on it.
Yeah.
How far do you want me to go? Do you want me to tell you what I thought about it? I don't know. Like,
no, not that part. Just what do you think the cold?
After drinking the beer, this is my assumption. I didn't talk to Jeremiah or anything about it. I think it's an ale that they actually cold fermented like a lager. That's what I after drinking it. That's my guess on it.
And I think Sean reached out to Jeremiah. Now I think about it as well. Okay, so that makes sense. It has Centennial, Simcoe, Amarillo, and Zuper Sazer. Hop I don't think I've ever had before. Dun Dun Dun, Amarillo, Citra, and Galaxy, double IPA, 7.5%.
That is like OG status stuff right there.
Yeah. And
like done. Let's see. It might have been the first beer it might have been one of the first beers I ever reviewed from Hop Butcher. I reviewed Dun 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 in 2017 from them.
Oh, that is OG.
That's what I mean. Like that's OG status for them.
Yeah.
The labels changed. It was black, so I don't know. The one that I reviewed was tan, cream colored. So I don't know if they've changed the beer or they decided to go with a darker can. I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah, maybe they tweaked it, changed it up. And then Rip Rap, Nelson.
I reviewed that right before we came on air.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. 5.75% pale ale. It might be the first pale ale I've had from them. Definitely a lot of those 7.5 double IPAs.
Yeah.
Pilsners, couple milkshakes.
Let's put it this way. I'm really curious about to see your thoughts on those two, the Rip Rap and the what was the other one? Deep Rinse. I'm really curious, and I have a theory. I'm kind of curious to see if it hashes out. That is now because I only got 2 beers from them. It was those 2 beers.
Okay.
Because Jeremiah likes you guys more than me now, apparently.
Well,
but there's been, I don't know if it's Hop Butcher that is doing it on purpose, but at the 3 out of the last 4 beers I've received from Hop Butcher have waves or water themes to them. So it was Ocean Key, which you guys didn't get.
Yeah.
And then it was Deep Rinse, and then even this like Rip Rap has it's water rushing in on stones. So I don't know if it's purposeful. If Dan Jetts is maybe going through some kind of water phase as far as his art design goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
if you look around my walls, which you can't except behind me, I have like a lot of like weird like Navy type shit that I collected over the years, and including like pictures of ships that my ship blew up, not like in war. It was like putting a ship to grave. All sorts of weird nautical shit on my walls, and so like all that stuff sort of it kind of gets me in the feels. I spend a lot of time at sea, Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. No,
so those themes are I'm really into.
No, for real, that's cool. Is Matt frozen?
I think so.
Oh, geez.
If that is really excited.
Well, he didn't go to Mimes College, so maybe
that's true.
Maybe he's just. I don't know if there's a way to fix it. He left. Maybe hopefully he'll pop back in. It'll be fixed. Seems like
I hope he's really pissed off about my comment and just left. Like, fuck this.
I can't stand it. Yeah, ridiculous. Another thing I got. This review will go up tomorrow. This is from Pariah out in California. It's their first ever pale ale. Give me some mo.
Okay.
And they kill IPAs and double IPAs, and he was really trying to get the flavor from those kinds of beers into something lower ABV. So 5.4% hazy pale ale, and the review will be up tomorrow. But spoiler, it's good. And then speaking of Hop Butcher though, Mike, so he sent 2 of each, so you guys can each have one, and then do the distance. Oh, you don't even know that?
No, I think he indicated that's what he would kind of do going forward.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I am grateful to get any beer I get, If he doesn't send enough for both of us, I don't care. It's nice of him to send anything at all. It doesn't bother me. He's a hell of a nice guy, and I'm not going to
really
begrudge him to give us double because me and Sean are separated.
He sent me 2 of each, so I assume at the very least he sent you guys 2 of each. Yeah.
Well, he should have sent us 4 of each then.
Well, and I think last time you guys did get like more, but divided by 2 anyway.
Maybe. I'm kidding.
I know. I only have one other thing I was gonna like unbox and do, and then we can just kind of hang out and do whatever, man. But before I do that, what's going on, man? How's life?
I'm good, man. I have sort of adopted my new way of trying to get exercise done by taking my dog for obnoxiously long walks.
Nice.
And I don't come home until he's dying.
Are you trying to do like a certain number of miles, or like I'm out for an hour with him, or are you trying to do anything specific, or?
No, I go until he's tired.
Really?
Honestly, it's because I don't know. It doesn't make sense to go till I'm tired if he's not going to make it home.
Yeah, true.
So if he's exhausted after an hour and 10 minutes, that's when I come home.
Yeah. I think my dog heard you say the W word, and now he's like looking at me. Although we already went for 1, so I don't know why. We went for 2 today, so I don't know why he's all. Anyway, oh wow, there's a bunch of stuff in here. I'll leave it up here. Yeah, it's interesting, and it is beer related because I need to lose weight because of all the beer I've been drinking. So yeah, trying to figure out ways to exercise. All right, let's see, Matt. Sorry about that, man.
No, my power went out at my house.
Is that really what it was?
Yeah. That happens when you live in the sticks. But I actually have a bunch of like power, like UPCs in my house. But
don't tell me power went out again. That would be wild.
Yeah, off the internet. So usually when the power goes out, I can still function, and we have a generator actually. But usually we wait like an hour to see if the power just comes back on naturally. Anyway.
I can.
Is he frozen for you, Kyle?
What, Mike?
Is he frozen for you as well?
Yeah, I could him, but his screen was frozen. Now he's moving. Okay.
I'm back again. It's probably going to be like that, maybe a little bit on my end until everything goes back to normal. So
okay. The last thing I wanted to unbox, and then we can just keep hanging out and talking like we wanted to. So Eclipse Brewing out of Seattle, he's a home brewer, but like the dude is so legit. And it's actually, this is the first time I've ever been sent a homebrew to review. Matt, I know you get those, but like, I mean, it's cool to get beer to review from anyone, but like when someone's like, hey, here's what I do, let me know what's up, like your thoughts on it. It's pretty cool. Just like shipping in New York, you got to include food apparently. And a pin, geez, so much stuff. And unlike Matt, I actually thought of Matt when this got here. This was supposed to get here this coming Tuesday. I got it today, Saturday. So it's the opposite of what happened when Sean sent the Trillium Altogether beer to Matt, which took 5 times longer than it should have.
Yeah.
This took less time. Looks like it might be. Oh, it's 2 different. Oh, okay. Very cool. I didn't realize he was sending. I knew he was sending the 1 beer. I didn't realize he was sending 2. Speaking of Altogether, he made an Altogether beer.
Yeah, anybody can do it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I haven't had. I wonder, because I remember there was 2 separate recipes. So I wonder if, right, because when there's the homebrew recipe, I mean, it's probably similar, I guess. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, well, you're gonna scale a recipe differently, whether it's on homebrew or whatnot. So I think the Chop and Brew guys, they have a YouTube thing. I think they did an Altogether beer on their site. But anyway,
here's the one I knew he was sending. It's 6.2% ABV. Dick Hazy. Look.
Hey, that's my porn name when I used to do porn. That's awesome.
Very cool can art. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, especially for a home brewer to be, doing can labels and stuff. New England style pale ale, juicy AF, and it does actually say AF. I'm not just censoring myself. And again, 6.2% ABV. So yeah, very excited.
Here, bring those beers back.
Okay.
And then hold one of them, or at least one of them. Hold one of those up to the Hot Butcher beers. Let me see the can difference between those 2. I'm just curious. Like, put them down on the counter. Is the homebrew taller? It is. So, pro tip, and by pro tip I mean I'm not a fucking pro, but I'm going to give you a tip anyway. drink those as fast as humanly possible.
Okay.
Because they are crowlered, not professionally canned.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The crowler cans are a bit taller, and that's why a lot of homebrew guys have been sending out canned beers as of late, is because they're using like either they bought their own crowler system or breweries letting them use their crowler system if they can accommodate 16-ounce cans. And don't treat it like it's a normal can that's been purged of oxygen and the whole nine. It's more of a crowler than a regular can. So jump on those as fast as you can, because otherwise oxidation will just beat the shit out of them.
Oh, good.
Yeah, most times when I do crowlers, I drink them within like 2 days. I have to.
Yeah, but when you get those 16-ounce cans, you just assume, it's a fucking 16-ounce can, just like everyone else. But if they're a little bit taller, you jump on that shit.
No, I would have assumed that. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, yeah, that's all the stuff I wanted to kind of like unbox and talk about. So now just whatever we want to talk about, and obviously people watching, feel free to jump in or whatever. Yeah, I have one topic, but I wanted us to think about it, maybe do a different video. But like, and Matt, you throw out this term, like the Mount Rushmore status. And I was trying to think what would be more interesting to do a brewery. And I don't want to do this right now. I'm just spitballing. A brewery Mount Rushmore, or a like brewer Mount Rushmore, or a influential beer people Mount Rushmore. That's kind of some thoughts I had. And we don't have to do it right this second, but.
No. I mean, dude, listen. You're looking to, I buy all the stock and lists. I'm a list junkie. I love all lists. Like anything that has a fucking list, I'm a clickbait fucking maniac about that shit. So, Ranker is like one of my favorite sites on the fucking internet. So anytime I can create a list, I'm all in. It's a weird one. It'd be interesting to see what everybody comes up with. I mean, brewery is relatively, I think, would be not easy, but there's enough there to where it'd be easy to make a top 10 list. Yeah. Brewer is a much different kind of story, maybe a little bit more interesting of a story. What was the other one that you suggested? The like influential people and like influential.
Well, just I have the Oxford Beer Guide book, whatever the actual title is, that Garrett Oliver was the editor for. Yeah. And that's actually what got me thinking about it. So like someone like him, I would put him on, as the Mount Rushmore status, but I was like, what would be the title that would most make sense for him? He is a brewer, obviously, but like he's beyond that. He's written, I mean, he edited that book, so I shouldn't say he wrote that book. He edited it and contributed. Then he wrote the, what was the book it was great. The Brewer's Table, I think was the name of it.
Yeah. Nah, but like Garrett, because I've drank beer with Garrett before. He won't fucking know who the fuck I am, but just because of my proximity from New York and being in the beer so long, it's just you cross paths with people, and he's about as close as the modern day Michael Jackson as you're gonna get. It just so happens that he actually owns a brewery. I want to say, I don't even know if he'd probably say he's still a brewer, but bulk. Almost all that has changed, but almost all of Brooklyn's beers has come out of the same brewery that makes what is it, Matt FX, which makes
people make
Utica. Is it Saranac? And so I mean they produce pretty much like all his beers come from there. That's changed now. Brooklyn actually has a spot in the Brooklyn area to where they produce a lot of beers and stuff like that. He definitely has his hand in there, but he's not running a brewery. He's kind of like Augie Carton at this point. He's just kind of floating around on the edges talking about beer, but he's more into like the experience and like ancillary being kind of floating around the edges of beer and culinary pairing, because they do a lot of CIA shit up there. He does a lot of collaborations with the CIA brewery up in New York, actually, or CIA, the Culinary Institute of America, opened up a brewery in the actual like their CIA program, and then Brooklyn has a big hand in that. So he's a big food pairing guy, but he's more kind of like modern day Michael Jackson. So he's absolutely on Mount Rushmore as far as influential people. But that list is weird because I might want to make that list like 10, not 4. But it'd be fun to have the conversation to keep it to 4. You know what I mean? Force the hand to keep it at 4.
It was so hard.
Exactly.
That's what makes it fun.
Exactly. That's why I want to keep it to 4, because it'd be hard, and I think it'd be more fun. And I like the point you're getting towards, or getting to, Matt, is I don't think he would make Brooklyn wouldn't make my brewery list. He wouldn't make my brewer list, but he would without a doubt make my beer influencer list or influential people in beer list. And that's kind of when I had the idea that those should be separate things. But yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like a kind of a cool, you know. A lot of people,
if you want to do a video about it, I'd be all for it.
Yeah. One part of it too is we've been kind of talking like what, you know, when we do these live stream videos, like what kind of stuff should we do? And we've done, you know, 2 altogether, and I would do a third one if we had enough to do those, and I would do just whatever videos. But I do think sometimes going in with a theme or at least a talking point, a jumping off point, whatever, is kind of good, you know. So we can talk about that in the private chat too. But
Carol, did you ever read High Fidelity?
I haven't read it, but it's top 5 favorite movie.
You got to read that, man.
The book's great. The book is great.
Yeah.
Honestly, like so much of it was translated. Almost. Go ahead.
Did you read all Nick Hornby or just that?
Oh, that's the one. I mean, I read it on deployment. I haven't gotten through all this stuff. I do have a couple of his books. I just haven't gotten through them yet.
Yeah, Fever Pitch, because I'm an Arsenal fan.
Oh yeah,
like the Fever Pitch is my camera went dead. You guys probably still hear me though.
Yeah,
but Fever Pitch is like the movie with Jimmy Fallon, and that's actually the book is about Nick Hornby and his real life experience with Arsenal as a soccer club. So they kind of just translated it to. Yeah. So it's his living and dying with that. So that's kind of where that movie came from. They just made it about baseball instead of soccer. I love him. He's one of my favorite writers.
The High Fidelity book is really good. It does translate. They do translate a lot of it almost directly to the screen, minus like the British isms.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it's pretty close. So some of it's a little different. Like the descriptor of Lisa Bonet's character was verbatim, except for the line where, well, and she's black, or whatever they put at the end of. It's a lot of it comes right out of the book, but the character, the main character in the book, John Cusack's character is obsessed with like lists of things, which translates into the movie itself. but he's verbatim about it in the book, and it goes through a lot of stuff. It's a really, really good read. You can burn through that book in honestly a day and a half, 2 days.
I need to read it
so quickly.
You know what? I'll put it next. I just started the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the new run, the IDW. Anyway, I got the first compendium of that, so I've been reading that. But the next time I read a proper book, not a graphic novel, I'll make that the one, because that movie, my friends and I, we kept renting it back when renting like at Blockbuster was a thing. We kept renting it every, month or whatever. And finally, I was like, I'm just going to buy this. Like, we watch it so often. Let me just own this movie. And then my wife and I watched the show. We liked the show too, but I mean, the movie I think just was so special. I watched it at a special time in my life and with those people, and I should read the book. And I love reading, so it's not like I'm one of the people who doesn't read. But
the movie is one of my favorite movies, and hands down. And one day I was going to the ship's library, and I was like, I wonder if this is what that because I'd watched the movie like 3 times on deployment in the first week probably. And I was going through the ship's library, and I was like, holy shit! And I looked at the back, and I realized it was the same story. I think I honestly, and I think I read it in 2 days. I destroyed that book.
Nice.
It's a really good read. And the movie's great too. So I would highly recommend it. Apparently Matt does as well.
I'll give you the no hype guarantee that it'll be the next book I read. Carlos stepped up his drinking game. Respect. This is much better than Budweiser 55 nonsense you were drinking before, Carlos. He's a cool dude. I like Carlos. He watches and comments a lot, and he's good.
Yeah, I love his comments. He's like no filter.
Yeah, he's good.
Like
people.
Kyle lately.
Yeah. There's so much going on in the world, and the fact so what happened was a guy commented and it annoyed me, and it happened 30 minutes before we started doing this live stream. Just like one of my beer reviews, apparently me talking for 2 minutes before I poured the beer was, a waste of time, and I should get to the point like Greg's beer reviews. And I've had
I'm just kidding.
No, it's fine. I don't care. I'll talk about it. We've all had a few tough months, and I've had an intense last 10 days or so. And I'm just like, this dude's biggest problem is he doesn't know how to fast forward a YouTube video. I didn't have time for that.
I thought it was cute because maybe I shouldn't say cute because that sounds like a douchebag. But I'm assuming that's the first time you got something like that because you took offense to it. I get that shit all the time, dude.
I've had it
with much more vitriol than that.
I think it's kind of, I wonder based on his comment if he was kidding, because Greg does not get to the point. Let's be fair here.
I don't know. I don't. That person, to my knowledge, has never commented to me before. Mm-hmm. The only beer tuber he subscribes to is Greg, so I assume he was being sincere with that. And whatever. I mean, Greg does his thing. That's fine. Matt, I haven't had a ton, to be honest with you, and typically it's a lot easier for me to brush off. But I'm definitely like one of those perspective people, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Fast forward a YouTube video to the part you want to watch. I do that all the time. Like I'll watch cooking ones. I just kind of fast forward to the part I need to see to figure out how to make the dish, and I move on with my life. I don't comment like you should have talked less. I don't know.
And this is actually something that I thought was kind of really interesting because my videos typically run anywhere between 7 to 10 minutes, and a lot of people have issue with that. They think they want their 3 to 5 minutes and done. And I get a lot of like, get to the fucking point, shut up, just tell us what we want to hear kind of shit constantly. So when James from Rampant Lion, he does his reviews, they're typically 30 minutes plus, sometimes into 40 minutes, 50 minutes. And one of the things I actually kind of touched base with him about when I was kind of saying, hey man, I really I appreciate that that people are watching you and you deserve that shit and that stuff. And I'm like, I actually kind of in that kind of congratulations thing, I said, I can understand because you probably have to deal with so many people just being like, what the fuck, dude? Get to the fucking beer. And he says he does not deal with that at all in Europe at all. He's like, rarely do people bring that up. So it's just interesting, just as a talking point, because I don't think there's much to say. It's just patience. It's like why people like football versus soccer. Soccer's there's not as much action, but there's a long lead up to something that's important. Where it's football, it's 12-second snippets of craziness. So it's the reason why there's no commercials in sports in Europe, but there are in the United States. The attention span is much smaller, so it makes sense. But it just having that applied to the thing that you do and have. You think 10 minutes, I think 10 minutes is too long because people yell at me, and I hear somebody saying 30 minutes is no problem. It's just interesting.
Well, perspective.
I think that like, Sean and I take a while to get to the point, but no one tells us because no one watches our videos. So
watch your stuff.
Plus, I honestly don't think that's an issue with a 2-person team because people expect banter. And you know what I mean? Like if you could wrap up a 2-person video, if you could wrap it up in less than 15 minutes, I think that's akin to a 5-minute a singular video.
Yeah, I think Sean and I we recorded yesterday, and it was really hard to keep things in line. I don't know what my issue was yesterday. I was like fucking apparently drinking before I started drinking. And because I just couldn't keep my shit together. I was going off on tangents continuously, and I had to keep apologizing. Hopefully Sean edits around that shit, but it got like stupid. And when we were done, I was like, "Man, I'm really sorry." He's like, "Oh, it was great." I was like, "The fuck?"
And that was one of the things when Chauncey from All Things Beer 510 was like, talking about like his favorite beer tubers. He mentioned you guys, and at that point, I had not seen you guys. He's like, "Yes, these 2 guys like in their like little studio, and they talk about beers and they have banter." I'm like, "That sounds amazing." That's why I checked you guys out, and like so in. I think the other side of it too, Matt, is I've had some criticism. I don't have a ton of it, but I also don't get a ton of like, I'd like to see more of this. So like, you don't get a lot of feedback. And some of the feedback I have gotten has been like, hey, you should just kind of like draw it out and like, just talk more. And it's like, okay, like the few people have said anything have said that. But the other thing I've noticed, and we talked about this a little bit off camera, is I've done a few more of these live streams with people or by myself. They get way more views than most of my beer reviews. So I think there's a decent number of people who like the idea of more long form or, kind of getting to know the person who does the beer review, like the personality piece of it. Oh,
one of the first videos I saw of you was a really long one. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember what the context was, but someone recommended to me. It was a really long video. Like, I mean, I don't know. It was over 20 minutes. I felt like when it was over, that like, you know, I had an understanding of who you were as a reviewer and as a person, like to some degree. I mean, obviously, I didn't know you, but like I like having an idea of who the people are. And you know, when people jump in and they're in and out in 3 minutes. It almost feels so abbreviated that it feels like almost like I'm missing things, you know?
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree with that totally. Like, you know, and honestly, it's some people like cucumbers pickled. Some people like that. They need that structure. They need that period in their life to be 3 minutes. And some people want conversation. I'm not saying one's more right than the other. It's just that I prefer to whatever. Now, the one thing that I would say, and I can't speak to anybody else, but I think it's kind of universal, and I think it's one of the best things I ever did was getting to the point where I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
it was one of the best things I ever did, and it took a while for me to get there. And sometimes I still forget it. You know, I'm such a creature of pattern. Sometimes I'll get into a pattern and I'll be like, "Why are you following this pattern?" Like, just say shit. And just owning it, you know what I mean? Always confident, often wrong. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Just say what you want to fucking say, and just, you know, and honestly, I've had people kind of chime out to me because, you know, I'm in the grand scheme of things, you know, I've done pretty well for the short period of time that I've done on YouTube. I've, you know, the amount of views and comments, whatever you want to fucking say, I've done pretty well, better than most.
Yeah.
And people always ask me like, why? And I'm like, because I just don't, I care enough about the thing, but I don't care about what people think I think about the thing. Yeah. And I think that's the secret sauce. And you also can't be boring as fuck. There's a lot of people who are, you know, like, I can't fucking play fucking drums. I've tried several times. I just, something about it. I fucking suck at it. As much as I love it and as much as I fucking want to be a drummer, I don't think I'd ever be a professional drummer. I'm not saying talking about beer on YouTube is akin to being a professional drummer, but what I'm saying is some people are boring as fuck. And as much as they want to talk about things and be interesting about the things that they love, they might just be boring as fuck people. So
let me bring in Joe from the Beer Patrol. His comment, I think, fits perfectly here. Personality over format for him. If you have a good personality and you're engaging, I'll watch your stuff regardless of time. And I think that really hits it on the head. I don't want to forget about Guns, Bikes, and Brews. Did curbside pickup at Treehouse? I keep thinking about doing that myself, actually. I'm about 2 hours from them. They love having people wait on a line so much. Up there were a 20-minute car line. Nice. Great beer, drinking a Bright. Love Bright.
I love Bright.
Bright's a beer from them that should get more love. So I'm glad you're enjoying that and drinking.
And that's the best part about Treehouse, man, or at least that state, Connecticut, man. You can drink a beer in a car. Now the driver can't, but open container in a car is legal. No, it is. Like you can drink. Open container in Connecticut is legal.
Oh well, I mean, Treehouse is technically in Mass.
Yeah, they're in Massachusetts.
No, or Mass. Maybe I'm out. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'm fucking up.
No, it's not that far from Connecticut, and a lot of people when you go in line are from Connecticut. But like, fuck, I sit there with that beer in the back of my fucking car for 3 hours and drive home. I'm like, wishing I could have some. I can't.
Last 2 times I went up there, I was actually a driver. I want to actually, because when I come through, because that's what I'm thinking about, is coming from there to home, driving through Connecticut. I want to do a beer review. One of my secret goals is to do a beer review in every moving vehicle I possibly can. So, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do one in a car. I've done one in a train.
Yeah.
What?
Didn't you do it?
I did one on a train. I want to do one in a helicopter, a plane, everything. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to do it on a tractor out back. I don't give a fuck.
John Deere review. That's awesome. Going back to the not caring, that's actually why I commented back to the guy, because I'm like,
don't do that, man.
Well, I did already, but I'm like, if he never watches again, I'm like, I don't. That's how I kind of showed I don't care. I'm like, if I offend him or whatever, he doesn't want to watch ever again. I don't care. That's fine. Like I was thinking about it. This is the best part, like doing this. I've met really cool people, and I try to keep this channel apolitical or whatever. But like I said, like the last 10 days have been pretty hard for my family and I. I've had people who watch my channel have reached out like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" Like that's to me the most important thing is like I've met some really amazing people. So if this one dude doesn't want to be part of it, there's the door. I don't care, So that's kind of for me how I showed, the I don't careness of it. But
yeah, that's what having 1,000 subscribers will do to you. I don't give a
as long as I get that sweet YouTube money coming in, I don't care. Yeah, I got about 300 subs I can lose, and I'm fine. So if I lose that one, good. Nah, it's so ridiculous. No, I'm not gonna. Whatever.
Like I said, I didn't see your comment that you posted in the chat, the private chat we have, and I just saw it. And you're way too nice for me, and like you're trying to kind of explain yourself, but get a little passive aggressive, dicky. I would have just been like, I would have been like so much useless shit at the beginning. At the beginning of your comment, just get to the point. That's what I would have replied. You know what I mean? Like, does he? It's like, why didn't you just say just get to the point? Why did you just say so much useless shit at the beginning? Like, you should have just got there and said get to the fucking point.
Be more like Greg. Just say that.
Yeah. Be more like Greg. So like basically have house plants and complain about dates.
Now in person, like I don't know if you guys have seen. I know Matt, you've been doing a lot of like grocery deliveries and stuff. I don't know if we've talked about that, but not recently. So maybe you haven't been doing as much. But like a couple of times I haven't had to, but I've chosen to like step in between things at grocery stores where people were just being ridiculous. So like in person, I'm more willing to, whatever. I'm a big guy. So I kind of be like, hey, you know what? You shouldn't be yelling at the guy. The one day a woman was yelling at a guy who worked there in the meat section. I'm like, you should not be yelling at him. He does not set the prices. You're being ridiculous.
Come on, Kyle, just encourage the violence. Jesus Christ, man.
No, and then another time a guy was yelling at another customer. It was like one of those self-checkouts. And this guy was like, oh, you shouldn't be using these self-checkouts. You have more than 10 items. It wasn't like a 10-item thing. And I'm like, you know what, man, I got a cart full of groceries. You're not saying anything to me. So like in person, I don't mind being more confrontational. But on this, I don't get it as I don't know. That's what I get.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, fighting with comment people, man, like that's the thing. Like even when I did my whole kind of flip out and Dar thing, like it's like I spent time kind of going back and forth, and eventually I just shut it the fuck off because it's like you're not going to get through to those people. Like it's such a and it kind of makes sense, and I don't want to associate YouTube comments with Black Lives Matter or that kind of stuff, but there's times when fighting the good fight, it makes sense, and there's trivial bullshit that just doesn't fucking matter. And it's ultimately the YouTube thing is just trivial bullshit that doesn't fucking matter. Now, I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I do this because I really enjoy it, so I give a shit about it. But it's like like you were saying about defending the meat guy, like that's worth speaking up about. Like someone bitching and moaning on my channel about fucking saying things is not worth speaking up about. But when you're dealing with directly with a human being that it's affecting their life, that's what you should fucking do. And again, it's a much smaller kind of microcosm of society and how fucked up we are. But YouTube comments go fuck themselves. It's
Speaking of YouTube,
such a weird thing.
What's up, Sean? Okay. I wanted to introduce Sean, and then we'll go.
Hey, can you guys hear?
Yeah,
can you guys hear me? Okay,
great. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Quick, what are you drinking? Then we're getting to Mike because Mike had a comment he was going to make. So what are you drinking?
I am drinking Aslan's Cortez and His Men India Pale Ale, 7%.
Oh man, you just said that so nonchalantly, like you weren't drinking. And
before we get to Mike, just real quick.
No big deal.
What number beer is that today for you?
He's had a bunch.
Oh, what number beer? Yeah, it's a bunch.
He's had a bunch today.
That just sounds just about the right number. So okay,
it's a good amount.
That's what I'm drinking right now.
Spyglass. Oh, nice, Mike. Nice. Mike, what were you gonna say, bud? Before Sean got on?
No, I brought up some of these vaguely similar during the chat with Jeremiah, and it's just such a weird thing to me to feel like you're so important that if you bitch on a video that people give a shit. Like if I don't like something, I just move on. I couldn't imagine like caring enough. I'm like, that's dumb. Close it. I keep moving. I couldn't. I feel like people who write those comments like feel like they have some sort of axe to grind. You know, like their mother didn't hug them enough or something, so they need to bitch at you. It's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, I almost never comment on anything except the occasional beer review. I mean, honestly, like probably 10 times I've ever commented, and 7 times was me shitting on the Johnny Cash Hurt videos. Other than that, I don't give a shit. And it's such a weird thing to me that people like feel like their shitty opinion, or I mean, I don't want to say shitty opinion. That's wrong. But their negative opinion matters. It's such a weird thing.
I cannot disagree with you more, Mike.
Fair enough.
As much as I hate YouTube, no. Yeah, because it sucks. I saw Hurt live at 9 Inch Nails in 1994 in the Spectrum. That's how you're supposed to fucking see it. Anyway,
fucking right.
Yeah, it was one of the dude, and I found a video on YouTube of the exact show I was at in 1994. It was crazy. Anyway, the reason why, and this is why, not just to shit on your comment, but what's worse, someone going on a YouTube video bitching about someone's opinion, or someone taking the time out of their life to film themselves with an opinion and posting it to YouTube? You know what I mean? So if you're going to post your opinion to YouTube and that's your opinion, I'm not going to say the people that comment are right, but how can you be like, fucking, how dare you you literally made a video about your opinion and posted it to YouTube. So someone's allowed to fucking rebut that.
No, I don't mean that. What I mean is like, it's weird to me, that, like, because he didn't criticize Kyle's opinion. Like it was.
Oh, we're talking about that thing that I commented on earlier. Is that what we're talking about?
Like the thing is, like if I'm on YouTube, I mean, I get what you're saying, Matt, and I don't think necessarily like you're wrong. I just feel like if I don't like something, I don't give a shit enough to sit there and like, oh man, I can't wait to fucking tell Kyle how he needs to get to a point on his fucking videos like my hero Greg. This is great. Like it just seems like well, that sucks. Move on. Like if it doesn't work for you, just fucking get the fuck out of there. I do get that I'm sort of being a hypocrite in that regard, but I have never, except for again Johnny Cash Hurt videos, I've never shit on a fucking video on YouTube ever.
Matt, let me interject. There's stuff that we have talked about off camera that I think if some people were privy to, it would change some people's opinion about the thing with you and Darwin. But we're not going to bring it up because that was off camera stuff.
Yeah.
That has complicated certain things because of things. Anyway, it had nothing to do with Matt in a bad way. We're trying not to actively, again, just like I'm not saying anything bad about Greg. Like that's not the point of this. That was, to me, something different because it's you and someone did something similar, and you had an opinion of disingenuousness and like maybe how that could influence things poorly for other people doing similar things. I'm trying to be very general and not blow up anyone's spot. And then again, like with the comment, I've always had a hard time with people who don't have perspective, and this makes it seem like I'm dwelling on it more than I really am. But like when people are dying or when whether it's coronavirus, Black Lives, like whatever, pick your thing. Like when there's that kind of stuff that like we've been dealing with hardcore, and like your biggest things you can't hit fast forward. Like to me, that is such a minuscule thing. Like kind of like to Mike's point, like. And that's why I said the way I said it, like either fast forward or don't watch. Like that, this like I've been pretty consistent with what I do. Move on. I mean, there's plenty of people like way more people watch Greg than I do. I don't know. I think it's
no, they don't, dude. No, they don't. Go look at his view numbers based off your view numbers.
Proportionally, that's one thing, but view wise, it is still higher. And I've said this before, like DJ, like I'm sure he's a nice guy. Like it's just not for me. That's fine. Like there's a billion TV shows I don't watch. They're just not for me. That's fine.
Hey, stop shitting on DJ. Jesus, it's not fucking fair, Kyle. I don't know why you're being such a
like, I guess it's person driven. Like if I don't like a TV show, I don't make a point to go talk about how much I hate it. I just don't watch it. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know because I complained the fuck out of Walking Dead and how bad it was. But and that's real,
that's why you guys
fucking real. Like I legit, dude, my hate for Walking Dead got so bad that I became an expert. I watched it on purpose so I had ammo to talk about how shit it was. Anyway.
Nice.
And that's legit because my one friend, he's like, he liked it and I just wanted to destroy him. Anyway, but to go back to the core point of it, it's like, or to expand on it, I think you need to realize that a lot of people live in their own brain and they process things. They process things in their own world to where it makes sense to them. So you have like, this is a perfect example. For me, I know I have a lot of people that are staunch Republican Trump supporters because I kind of don't really talk about that shit. I try to keep it as out of my videos as much as humanly possible. But every now and then I'll say something that they view as egregious. So, you know, whenever I refer to, because I'm not a fan of Trump, so anytime I refer to Trump, instead of saying the president, I say the guy in the White House. You know what I mean? Like that's what I say. And I feel that's very kids glovesy. That's not being super offensive, but I say the guy in the White House. And like people have taken immense offense to that. And like they'll be like, how dare you know, you're liberal, left leaning, all this kind of stuff. But it's been really kind of interesting to see going over the past 2 weeks, because the past 2 weeks I've still gained more subs than I've lost, but I've lost way more subs over the past 3 weeks. From the Darwin thing, which I had some people that were in my camp. And then when I did that, they just kind of been like, what the fuck are you doing kind of thing, which is fine because I talked about this in a previous podcast. It's like tattoos. Like if I go to work at a company and they say, I don't want to hire you because of tattoos and I don't want to work there. Well, if you take offense to the shit I said, then I don't want you to watch my channel. But then to see that dip in subscribership and then for me to post my thing about like you know, I'm not posting anything on a fucking Tuesday and Black Lives Matter and all that, and to see my analytics and see my subs drop off or something like that. And I got some pretty heinous comments. Thankfully, I got some dude saying like, oh, you should see the shit that I dude, some of the like, oh yeah, be like, oh yeah, people just, you know, oh, this mouth feel sucks because of all the jizz in your mouth from sucking left cock, you fucking blah, 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 like MAGA 2020. Like, oh, yeah, dude, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the shit I get. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like you got, to me, was like fun. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, ha, ha, ha. But, like, I got a comment the other, I don't want to read it. I don't even want to give the people. Like that. I don't, and like, people like, you know, going crazy and shit like that, and just getting that stuff, I view it as a positive when people comment because it's like, you know what's going on, you know what I mean? So it's like, even though I lose subscribers, that's not the ultimate goal. I don't give a fuck about subscribers. I don't monetize like some people in this fucking chat, but
YouTube money.
But it's like. You know, people think they're gonna like hurt you with that kind of stuff. Like honestly, if somebody wanted to hurt me, they would be like, I don't know. They would do like, I don't know. They just give me a thumbs down. You know what I mean? Like that would offend me way more than just being like, fuck you, motherfucker.
And what if someone commented on your video that they like the Johnny Cash Hurt song?
Are we still talking about this, Mike?
One axe to grind. Johnny Cash cover.
Yeah, when we do Beer Trooper Palooza, I'm just going to put Johnny Cash Hurt in the background music the whole time.
I will leave.
But then YouTube will copyright like violation that like all day long, though.
Yeah,
They shouldn't, because that's a fucking shitty cover. They should be fucking ashamed of even allowing the video up.
I didn't lose or gain anyone doing the Blackout Tuesday. I figured I would lose a couple people, but yeah, I was surprised by that.
Did you post anything about it, or did you just black out?
On Instagram. You know, actually, I didn't do anything on YouTube. I just didn't post.
Yeah, because on Instagram I can't even really tell. I don't even give a shit.
Well, just for fun, I looked at my numbers that morning and then that night, and nothing changed. But yeah, now I think, but I didn't post anything on YouTube. It was all on Instagram, so whatever.
But if like on YouTube, like for me, if you have to, it's not so much that I lost. I just didn't gain it as much.
Yeah.
For like right now, I don't know where you guys are at. My typical like gain per month is anywhere between like 1 to 200 viewers per month is kind of like how many people subscribe.
Okay.
So when I get a bunch of people unsubscribing, it gives me like a negative number that isn't, oh, you have negative 55 unsubscribers. It's negative 55 based off of analytics of what should have been subscribing to you previously. It's like a diagram. It's like a percentage or whatever. Anyway,
I saw Nerd Sense went up a couple more after you did your shotgun beer review of the Trillium.
Yeah, that was a sorry chug, man. I wish I did better on that one, but what are you gonna do?
The shotgunning, I've never been good at that, or just even regular.
I'm just kind of glad the beer exploded like that. It made it for quality video.
It was the best, probably the best thumbnail ever for a beer video.
That was a great thumbnail. It looked like an explosion. It was great.
Right, like that would be a really good like just picture to hang on a wall. I mean, it was just Sean's joining back up.
I'm still finding beer everywhere, dude. Like I literally mopped my whole room. Like there's still beer and shit. Let's put it that way. Like I like my audio recorder here, my Zoom 686. Like I'm like I need to clean this thing. Like I had to clean my monitor. Like it was everywhere.
Sean, we're talking about him shotgunning the Trillium all together. You sent, bud.
That was the best video last night. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain right now. Is it crazy?
It's not bad.
Are you getting crazy rain right now?
It's actually quite peaceful. It's like like one of those sleep boxes, one of those white noise.
Yeah,
white noise machines. Yeah.
But no, that so did you put that in your fridge or did you just do it right when you got it?
No, I put it in my fridge because it arrived. The day it arrived, I didn't want to. I was like a day off from beer, and I didn't want to drink anything. So I just threw it in my fridge, and I did it the next day because it arrived on Monday. I filmed it on Tuesday, I believe, or Wednesday. I forget which day.
Fair enough.
So a few years ago, I don't remember what the context was, but I don't know. I think Sean asked me to film a video of me shotgunning a beer. I don't remember why.
Oh, it was the I drank beer thing.
I remember that.
All right.
And they never released it.
No,
I do know that when I did mine, I did not have a mess. And I've shotgun in my entire life 3 beers ever. I was so careful, and my beer didn't explode like yours either, though. That shit was insane.
You wore a bib, right? Just make sure you didn't get any on your shirt. I think I saw that video.
I don't know if I had a bib.
I'm just kidding. I never.
Oh, it's entirely possible. What I mean is, like, I did it in my living room. If I had beer all over the carpet and the walls, my wife would have fucking strangled me. The fact that I
definitely have both videos, but they're not very good. Like, I remember mine was like, I recorded like 4 versions of it, and it just looks stupid.
I mean, you need content, Sean, so I would release them.
I think I'm gonna have to.
Now, Sean, I don't know if you saw this part before you joined in. One of the future things we're maybe going to try to do is like a Mount Rushmore status kind of a thing. Maybe a brewery, influential beer people. So just to kind of have some thoughts going, maybe a future video. We kind of try to come up with some ideas to do, live streams in the future. Okay, bud?
I like that. Mount Rush, like what could be, that.
So we can talk about.
We got to keep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, we can talk about it more in the group chat that we have, but just something to kick around and maybe potentially do. Sometimes it's nice to have a theme if we don't have like an all together beer to review or whatever. Just kind of get it together and have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do you guys want to talk about? Anything? I feel like Sean hasn't talked much, man. How's your day going?
Good. Didn't mean to derail you guys.
No. You've been grilling a lot today, you said?
Yeah, so I think Mike knows. I think actually Kyle, you probably know. I recently got a Weber about 3 weeks ago, so I've been like learning how to use charcoal. Like normally I do gas, so basically my like days are like trying to figure out how to like make heat work properly, and I'm still like not doing it very well. But no, that's pretty much what I did today. I grilled, had some lagers. We had some friends over, socially distanced, a couple of them. Mike, we had Kate and Nick over, but they're like super far, obviously. And that's what we did today. And that was it.
Tomorrow's the first day I'm actually gonna like see my mom. with all this going on. Yeah, so she's gonna come up and visit, and it's kind of like comfort levels and like what have you been doing the last 2 weeks? Like,
right.
Think that you would have any, like, yeah, it's kind of gnarly to do the logistics, but we'll probably hang out outside. There's plenty of space to, we can be apart from each other. She just wanted to come up for a couple hours, have lunch, so I'm gonna grill up some mussels and maybe make a salad or whatever and just kind of hang out. Yeah, but I get that.
You gotta have that like trust level.
Yeah, well, and her and I were talking. I think part of it too is just kind of like having those conversations, like, so, have you guys been wearing masks to the store? Okay, good. Okay, yes. Like when you aren't hanging out in your house, you go out in public, you're being safe. Maybe I do feel a little safer being around you and eating, like just kind of those conversations, which again could lead towards like when we, if and when we do Beer Tuber Palooza in person. Shoot, I just had something I was gonna say. Crap. About that. I don't know. I just totally
Sean's mic is off.
What's that?
Sean's mic is off.
Yeah.
He muted himself so that.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh no! I muted because it's like literally like
it's coming down.
Literally just started like it just started.
It actually doesn't sound that bad, so you don't need to mute yourself.
Oh really?
No, you're fine. Man. It's not bad. No, it's not bad.
It sounds terrible, but yeah, it's just downpouring. Mike, is it raining up there? Like this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's like I keep looking outside, and then my window's over there.
Yeah, Michael Gibson says, "Am I reading a novel?" I'm not fucking reading a novel. My screen's over here. My camera's there. I look at my screen. I'm not looking at my camera.
Oh, I remember what I was going to.
It's I can read.
He's rereading High Fidelity. I remember what I was going to say. So just for people who don't know, so Mike and Sean have a group message with other people. Sean and Mike have a group message with me that's mostly comic book stuff. And then they have the group message with me, Matt, Joe from the Beer Patrol, Thomas, who we saw before, his friend Keith. That's mostly beer stuff. So there are these like different group texts that sometimes we reference. It depends like what the nerdy. Is it a beer nerdy thing? Is it a comic book nerdy thing? Is it whatever they talk about with Reed?
So you're saying that you have to have kind of a nerd sense about which.
Ooh, I see what you did there, Matt. Yeah, 100%.
That's funny. Oh, I just woke up Bruno when I did that. Yeah, Michael's laughing. You want to go out there? I'm sorry I woke you up, buddy.
Oh, speaking of dogs, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. So, me and my wife wanted to take a ride today. We had to do we wanted to pick up like a gift card and some wine for some friends of ours that we just wanted to gift some stuff to. So we're like, okay, let's take a ride today. And where I live close to the Delaware River, which is the border between New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And I'm like, okay, let's kind of just travel up along the Delaware River, having a nice day, and then travel back down. And it's about stopping at places, because I went to a bunch of breweries and did like curbside to go and stuff like that. It's like a 3-hour round trip. Today was the first day we let Taco like not in his crate for 3.5. It was 3.5 hours, and he didn't do anything fucking wrong. He didn't pee, he didn't poop, he didn't do anything wrong. And like, what do I do the whole time? I'm like Google remoted it in on my cam, and I'm like watching him while I'm driving. Like, I literally watched them the whole time while I'm driving. Almost gotten like 37 accidents because I'm watching the live stream. Dog sleeping on my fucking bed.
Nice. Michael's asking what everyone is drinking, so I just showed him this raspberry witch beer from a local brewery. Nerd Sense Mike has Spyglass mixed berry entanglement, which was delicious.
I just reviewed this. Because I did a couple of reviews before I came on the air. I just finished this, so now I'm moving on to another mystery beer. Shut your eyes if you don't want to know. Which is a little bit of smells like Bean Spirit hazelnut.
Hazelnut. Okay.
Yeah, Microphone Brewing, coming from my boy. Microphone.
Is it a microphone? I don't know.
Microphone.
Microphone, yeah.
It's still like Mike, right? Like M-I-K-E, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who makes it, his name is Mike instead of microphone, like actual microphone. It's
I think it's pronounced microphone.
Yeah. But I've had a couple of the bean spirits. So it's maple syrup, coffee. You know what I mean?
I've had the regular and the imperial. That's it. Double dry hop green street. Oh, nice.
That beer is old AF.
Wait,
I want to know how that tastes.
Back when Trillium,
it's old as shit, and I didn't like it fresh. So
coffee beers. Had to pick on Trillium. Too funny.
We can pick on Trillium.
Man, yeah, poor Trillium. No, they've been. I don't know. They'll figure it out. They'll be good. It's all good. That's the Mike pour. That's the infamous and famous Mike pour.
The proper pour.
AKA the proper pour. Yeah, so proper.
That is gorgeous, by the way.
It looks really good.
It look good.
I do have my window open, and my beer glasses. I keep them, open side down. But there's a little bit of a pollen around the bottom of this glass here. So good. That's why I was sneezing at the beginning of the video. I was like, my bar is like pollen on it. It's gross. But fuck it, I couldn't clean it up by the time I had to start recording. So
when we were on our walk earlier, a lot of people sneezing. It's like it's the pollen. It's like everyone's like everyone's on edge. Is it coronavirus? It's like nah, I have allergies. It's the pollen. Yeah.
Dude, I've developed allergies later in my life that I never had, and this year. Like I've never understood the whole itchy eye thing, and I've never had it until this year, and I don't have it every day, but like once every couple weeks, all of a sudden I can't fucking do anything, and my eyes itch, and I can't stop rubbing them. It's like, goddamn, if somehow someone can create like a magic pill that would make me stop itching my eyeballs and my butthole, I think I'd be happy.
I don't know about the butthole, but probably you could do the eyeball with like Benadryl.
Give it 10 more years. You'll be itching your butthole. Don't worry about it.
So Michael, he corrected it. He meant to say Matt, not May. The doo-doo beer that you post on Instagram. It's funny. Michael, I sent Matt a message almost immediately, like, "What is that beer? Do you want to talk about it or no?"
Let's put it this way. It was a mystery beer, and so many people were aghast at the sight of that beer that I will fast track that till Monday. So you got less than 48 hours, and you'll be able to watch it.
Yeah, that was straight diarrhea looking.
So you'll see on Monday.
Yeah, it looked like diarrhea.
Yeah, it looked like it's straight up doo-doo water, man. This is like butt stuff. Like it's just like, it's like if you type in Chappelle Show, doo-doo butter, type in that and watch that, and you know what the beer looked like.
Nice. Michael, you stumped me. I'm waiting on All Citra Everything HDHC Freaky Friday to come in. I don't know what that is.
I know what that is.
All Citra Everything is other half, but HDHC.
No, so what that is, Freaky Friday, Trillium, other half, Veil are all doing. I don't know who else. I think it's probably other breweries. They're swapping recipes.
Oh, cool! That's an awesome idea.
Trillium just released yesterday. I didn't get it. All Citra Everything, and they're taking the same labels. They're putting the little small Trillium stamp on it. But so 2 weeks ago, Trillium sent down the recipe for twice daily serving to the Veil, and the Veil released that, and the Veil sent up one of their fruity gozes, and Trillium released that. So this is honestly a really cool time for beer. I hope this still happens because collabs are great, but there are a lot of times where you're not going to be able to get a beer from the Veil and other half and stuff like that, and obviously people trade, but how cool would it be to be all right, I can get this beer from the Veil, but now Trillium just brewed it, and it's going to be different, right? Clearly, it's going to be different, but it's an interesting, just like we do our collabs and stuff like that, our crossover episodes. I think it's a super cool thing to do.
It's awesome.
Go back, click on that comment that you had up again.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is this is me being like, get off my fucking lawn, like super old curmudgeon guy, and I'm not pooping on Mike because Mike's an awesome dude, but I've never been able to understand it. It's, you know, when your like grandpa sees you playing Mario Brothers and he goes, "What the fuck is going on right now? Like, why the fuck are you doing this?" This comment, half the time I don't understand because acronyms.
I don't know anything at all. I don't know nothing.
All Citra everything. I don't know what HDHC means. Like, so many people in the beer world do these crazy short acronym things that
I don't know what HDHC means.
Okay, that's what I mean. But
okay,
it's something that like Razzle group crazy people are like, when I see people like, if I go in the Hill Farmstead like group, because I belong to a couple groups, but the Hill Farmstead one's extra special because it's a combination of super hazy haze boys, but then lambic nerds. So it's like two like super fucking pretentious sides of lighting. And it's like all these acronyms, and they know exactly what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm like, it's like, be like, I have a F4H9786. I have 4 bottles to trade, 117, 118, plus 5. 910, but I'm looking for HBC 910X6XX5C, and it's like they're rattling off shit. I'm like, is this like I need some kind of like, what was that movie, that shitty movie from like 30 years ago, Wind Talker? I need someone to come in and like decipher the code and like break this fucking code out to where I can actually understand what people are talking about. Yeah, it's like,
there you go.
Yeah, come on, get off my fucking lawn. I'm not pooping on it. I'm just saying I'm old. Yeah.
I mean, I wonder, does that happen to other people's professions? Because, like, in the teaching profession, it is all acronyms. Everything is an acronym. So it's kind of like, wait, what again? Is that? I assume it's other professions too.
Oh no, it is. It totally is.
Okay, yeah. People love that. Yeah.
Oh no, it is. My point is that I don't live in the trading world. So that's why I don't live. That's why I don't understand the acronyms. In order to understand the acronyms, you have to like be like live and die in the trading world, and I just don't fuck with that shit. So I don't understand. I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying I'm fucking old and weird.
I remember I thought the beer was called Antede. I'm like, oh, what's this Antede beer? Like everyone keeps talking about, and then a night to end all. I'm like, oh, a night to end all dawns. I know that beer. I'm like, I thought this Antede was some other beer chain made. Yeah, so I get it, Matt. I get it,
dude. That's perfect. That's the perfect example, because my friends would literally get angry at me because I would say a night to end all dawns all the time.
Yeah,
like we would talk about it and be like, oh, I'm going down for Antede, and be like, really? Like I like a night to end all dawns, and be like, dude, just say Antede. I'm like, no, never gonna fucking happen. And then I ended up saying it because I just got lazy. But I'm just like, I purposely went out of my way not to say a night to end or Antede. I would be like, a night to end all dawns. Yep. That's it. That's what it is.
Gentlemen, do I open another beer?
I'm okay with being the heel. That's all I know.
No, it's good, man. I just finished my beer. Do I open another beer, guys? What do you guys have in you?
I think you should, and I want to see your comment after you open another beer to that.
To
John Wick, to that guy.
Jay Wick, yeah.
I think everybody should chug a beer. Like a shot.
I think Kyle needs to get a beer funnel and a couple of bottles of Bourbon County and go to town.
I think Kyle should boof a bottle of Fireball.
These are all horrible ideas.
These are all great ideas.
These are all.
Matt's idea is way better than my idea. I think it's a good one.
Ridiculous, man.
So Kyle, what is that? Tell us.
All right, so this is one of the ones I showed at the very beginning.
Great pour, by the way.
Right, I mean this is a mic pour, right? More head than
that's
beer,
a mic
right?
pour. That's a mic pour.
That's what you want, right?
Mic pours the right pour. Remember that.
Oh, ridiculous.
Yeah, whatever. Cool.
So, Sean, this is that Artisanal Brewers, the people who make the Warheads beers.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they partnered with a family that owns a few restaurants, and this is like an exclusive at their restaurant, but they're allowed to still can it.
Oh.
So it's a New England style pale ale or IPA, 6.1% ABV. They made they just recently did for the first time a double version of this that sold out too fast for me to get. I'm actually I know you guys didn't love the Warheads beers, but there's this local ice cream place we like, and the guys who own it used to be home. And they might still homebrew, but they used to be home brewers. So they'll make like a wit ice cream, and they'll make sure it has like some citrus. They'll do an IPA ice cream.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really they have non beer flavors, but they do some beer flavors. So they partnered with Artisanal, and they did a Warheads. I think it was the black cherry, like
dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I think tomorrow we're gonna grab that. For my birthday, I got a $25 gift card to there. So it's called the Dutch Udder. So I think we're gonna go there tomorrow and get some ice cream, including that one.
But Dutch Udder.
Yeah, the Dutch Udder. Yeah.
The Dutch
is that like a Dutch rudder? Is that the same
udder,
thing?
Like a cow's udder. The Dutch.
So it's not like a Dutch rudder.
The Dutch udder.
What's a Dutch rudder?
We're purposefully not asking Mike what that is, Matt. That's like
because it sounds like sexual euphemism. Like I gave them Dutch rudder, and they never called me back.
Hey, Mike, what's a Dutch rudder? Can you explain that to us?
Not on Kyle's channel, no.
We'll explain it on ours or Matt's, but not Kyle's.
Yeah, that's fine.
Again, I don't care. I keep it clean. I don't care at all what you guys say. Actually, this is really good. Holy cow!
Go watch the end of Zack and Miri, and you'll find out what a Dutch rudder is.
Oh, was that in Zack and Miri?
Yeah, the end.
Is it like space?
Like,
it's basically like someone's holding their thing, and someone else moves their arm. So.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
You know what space docking is, right? Everybody knows.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Just so you know.
Sean and I both know that one.
Yeah. Favorite thing to do.
Intimately.
Too funny. All right, so I'm going to open a single IPA from Monkish called Glitter Red Hop 6.4 Joe's Arcade. I haven't watched it, but I saw that he put up the review. Actually, speaking of Joe, I know Matt had talked to him about trying to get him to do a live stream.
Yeah.
We definitely got to get Joe doing one of these things.
He's like the nicest guy on the planet, man. Like, dude,
I met him in real life last year in San Diego, and he is like the guy. When you watch his reviews, he's that guy in real life. There's nothing fake. If you like him when you watch reviews, that's who you get in real life. Like Matt's saying, he's a good, nice guy for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like I'm envious of how nice he is. Like, I wish I wasn't as much of an asshole because of how nice he is.
Yeah, and he's nice. He's cool. He's easy to talk to, and I mean, there's a time difference, but we got to definitely try to get him on one of these. That's another thing we've kind of talked about is, I mentioned the Mount Rushmore idea, but like we've had some ideas of trying to get, brewers or, people who represent brewers.
Yeah, the beer draft thing was like the one thing I wanted to do, and I just kind of dropped the ball on it. It was a
cool idea.
It's still something we could do. I talked to, I talked to Chauncey about it. I talked to Joe about it. I talked to Nate about it from Behind the Bar Beer Reviews. Yeah. It's something we could do. And honestly, it's oddly enough with COVID, I've actually been way more busy in life in general. So it's been harder for me. I actually go back to work on Monday purposely. Like, I want to go back and I'm going to start in, not full time, but I'm going to go back in selectively, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. Not the commute. Anyway.
Yeah, we can. I mean, if you want to talk about that now, I do want to know more about that though, Matt. But we can talk about. If you don't want to talk about it now, we can talk about that offline. Michael, that's how he comes off. Super nice guy. I mean, and again, like we hung out for a while. We had a couple beers. Like he really, and I did a review of it. Like we met at Modern Times. Him and his wife and myself. My wife had a conference and she was busy doing conference stuff. So it was just the three of us. But that's a good pour. That is a Mike pour. And, he was super nice. He gave me a bottle of Modern Times. He's like, hey, man, just here you go. It's like a barrel, bourbon barrel aged stout. And he was just, hung up for hours, easy to talk to, just a good dude, 100%. I can vouch for that. Like, just good guy. I'd love to do it. We text sometimes, so we do keep in a little bit of contact. But I would love to have, something like this with all of us and him for sure. Whether it's Beer Tuber Palooza or we do it before and then try to do it with them then as well. He's good people.
Good. Here, them. Not to cut you off on how nice the guy Joe is, because he seems like a great guy. This beer here, it's old. Doesn't taste very good. It's okay. It's fine.
How old is it? How old?
I think it's from I don't know. I think it's 11 months old.
Whoa. Okay.
10 months old.
Okay.
But it's fine. It's okay. It tastes like an IPA that's that old. It's fine. But it's ridiculous that I think especially because this beer is so carbonated. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit gassy, like burping more.
Yeah.
When it burps, it comes up tasting exactly like fresh pineapples. It's kind of fucked up.
Okay.
the after is really good. It feels fucking gross and creepy, but it is.
Does it have Galaxy in it?
I honestly don't know.
Green Street, I think it does. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, the can doesn't say anything, and I'm definitely not doing any research right now. So,
what was the? I looked it up after I did the review. The Hot Butcher beer. It doesn't have Galaxy, but it had a big pineapple taste to it. And then I looked up the hop. I didn't know. I think it was Sultana, and it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike and I just said it last night, and we looked it up. Yeah, and it had a fresh pineapple can or whatever. Yeah.
And I said it in my review. I'll post it, in the near future. But I think I'm posting it Wednesday. But anyway, I'm like, if you did this blind, I would have 1,000 times said this has Galaxy. And I don't know that hop. So in the review, I didn't say I think it's the Sultana, but I looked it up afterwards, and Sultana does apparently kick off pineapple. But it really drank like a Galaxy. It was so cool. Yeah.
I wanted to mention that Sean, definitely go try to grab some of that beer from that Gilded Skull guy.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, Alpine Butcher. That's all I was growing today was meats from Alpine. I wish you sent that to me yesterday at 11 a.m. and I would have definitely grabbed it because I'm pretty sure it was there.
Yeah, that's one of the guys that sent me the stuff that you do at homebrew. I actually I don't know how he's putting it out for sale. Just because he was highly Kyle was talking when we first went on air about that kind of upper echelon, next level kind of homebrew that's doing stickers and cans and the whole nine. He obviously is not. He's not canning it on a crowler machine and stuff like that. But the beers are fucking really, really good and just super nice guys. So I'm curious to see what you think. So if and when you go back, if they have it, definitely pick it up.
No, 100%. And they're based out of Woburn, which is interesting because Woburn again is pretty close to us. It's 20 minutes, but if they're distributing to where they're distributing in that list, it should be pretty easy to get. And I was there and I didn't even, I don't know. It's not, I guess that black can is something I would relatively recognize. I was there literally yesterday grabbing beer and meats, obviously because it's a butcher, but
listen, there's one rule and one rule only when it comes to beer. If there's a black label with gold lettering, you buy that motherfucker. Unless it's Lord Hobo. And if it's anything but Lord Hobo and it's black label and gold, you buy that shit. And it's not a knock against Lord Hobo. It's just that their whole line is black and gold. So you can't discern.
There's a few there's a few knocks against Lord Hobo. Let's be honest.
Lord Hobo gets more knocks than they deserve, in my opinion.
Wait. Time out on Lord Hobo because I do want to talk about them. A couple of comments I want to get to, then we'll go back to Lord Hobo because these comments are too good. Okay.
Sorry, Kyle.
No. It just Michael is asking us. So he mentioned that Matt has done home brew reviews, and if
you guys know Mike.
I think because of us doing more of these live streams, I've gotten to know that he exists because he was a fan of your channel. I think maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Michael. I think he's come to our channels through us doing more live streams lately, but I might be wrong. So he's looking at here. I'll pull up the other question. All right. Quick question for everyone. I know Matt does homebrew reviews, but do the rest of you, or would you? I'm waiting on getting my ingredients because the homebrew shop near me are closed. But when it's done, if I sent it out to you guys, would you all review it? I mean, I just got my first home home brewed beer today that I'm going to review. I would love to do more. I think that would be really rad. I don't want to speak for the Nerd Sense guys.
I would love to too, 100%.
Yeah,
yeah, of course. But,
yeah.
I mean,
I think the only difficulty with
at this point, Sean and I review completely separately. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to send, one for each of us. But if they were sent, I mean, I would definitely love to do it. But I'm sure Sean would have no problem blowing through those.
So, Michael, what Mike is not saying, but I'll just say is,
thank you, Kyle.
Social distancing, they would need 2 of each one, so they could do them separately. Yeah. But
don't ever worry about sending extra for me. Like if you send them, Sean will review them, I'm sure.
Well, I'm the one saying it, not Mike from Nerd Sense, and make sure everyone subscribes to Nerd Sense. And then, and nothing against you, Michael, but this comment wins the night. Not Nerd Sense, Mike.
That's a great comment.
Sean in witness protection, LOL. So because it's gotten,
I just like the dog pic, man. I just like the. I want to look at the dog.
If you look at Sean right now, it does look exactly like he's in a documentary or something, talking about something he's not supposed to be talking about, and his voice should be all muffled. So
I wish he had a voice modulator,
right?
Like Bane or something.
So that was maybe the comment of the night. Well done, Clinton. I've been watching you guys for a while, but commenting more on the okay. Maybe that's why, Michael, I was under the impression that maybe you came via Matt from Massive Beer Reviews because you comment more on the live streams.
And like another hot tip when it comes to the homebrew stuff, and I'm sure you guys already know this, but I figured I'd mention it just because people watch this stuff and they should probably understand, is that like, you actually want to think about homebrew. Your initial, as far as I'm concerned, my initial reaction when reviewing homebrew is almost to be nicer, but you want to do the opposite. You don't want to be an asshole and be like, "Fuck this beer, it sucks." But you want to do the opposite because so there's I mean, look at the person in the White House. There's so many people that are yes men to death. That there's no kind of growth or progression and stuff like that. And like so many homebrewers just want honest, legitimate opinions on their beer as opposed to just like, you send somebody homebrew and go, it's good. It sucks. Yeah. That's the worst review you'll ever get. Someone says, I really liked it. Then it'd be like, that's fucking does me no fucking good. Why the fuck did you say that? So, if you do get homebrew, I like, don't be a dick, but just be like, I like this. I like that. I don't like this. I don't like that. Like, try to be as clear and concise as you possibly can, because there's a reason why the homebrew is being sent. It's not like a commercial beer to where people are like, oh, let me see what this person has to say. And if I like what they say, I'll go buy it. That's never going to happen with fucking homebrew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like the homebrew is a little bit more personal, a little bit more, you know what I mean? A little bit more kind of constructive. Literally constructive. So it's way more important not to be kids glovesy without being a dick.
That's what I appreciated when we did the live stream with Jeremiah from Hot Butcher is like, I mean, people know who Hot Butcher is. Like them watching my, the 100 people who watch my review, it's not going to translate to 100 people buying their beers all of a sudden. And him saying like, I want it, you guys are talking more in depth about beer. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, like, because it's not just the Untapped. Like, I give this beer 4.25 out of 5. It's like you guys are actually talking about the flavors, the complexity, lack of complexity, what it does over time, et cetera, et cetera. So, and that's a good point. Like with a homebrew, and actually, that's what I'll just click on. This is what Michael is saying. Criticism is what I need. Good or bad. I mean, I think the thoroughness of it, the mouthfeel is good, but I think the hop should be popping a little bit more or whatever, like those kinds of comments. Clinton, dog is the dog in the picture is Roscoe. I'm a big dog.
Love the name Roscoe for a dog. Fucking Roscoe P. Coltrane, man.
Big, three of the 4 people have a dog in this live stream right now. So, Sean's an evil person who doesn't have a dog, but everyone else.
I have an actual 5-year-old, so does that count?
Nope, not at all.
And I actually just picked this up, and I realized this is the best approach. I picked up my like gimbal, and I.
I was about to say, was that your gimbal? Because it looked way too cool. It looked like a soap opera.
I like tried to show my daughter, and I can't even do it because it won't even. There you go. There you go. I see it. No, I can't really do it, but okay. But yeah, this is the gimbal.
She watching Pulp Fiction on that? You let her at that age watch Pulp Fiction?
Is that a Serbian movie? What was that?
Yeah, Kyle, you got to start them. You got to like, make sure she gets them. Of course.
Oh, Mike from Nerd Sense, don't you dare shake your head in disgust at us.
Yeah.
No, I'm disgusted at Pulp Fiction.
Happy birthday to Franco, by the way. Michael Gibson's dog's birthday today.
If my kid's watching anything, it's Uncle Mike's fault.
Happy birthday. We rescued my dog, and we did recently find out his birthday is in September. So it's kind of nice to know a little bit better when he was actually born. And appreciate that.
This is the point in the show where they have to show a picture of my taco because he's taco and he's the best.
Dogs are the best.
Look at that, dude.
Earlier today, after I took my dog for his
look at that puppy.
Walk,
that's my other dog, Mika, in the background. But look at Taco. He's such a good boy. Oh, Taco.
Matt, you're freezing a little bit. We hear your audio fine, but your screen's freezing.
Yeah, we hear you great, but I don't see Taco.
Well, suck it. I don't care.
All right, so Clinton is throwing it down. My Dachshund is smarter than your honor student.
I assume that his dachshund is smarter than my dog because my dog's a retard. But
Dachshund's smarter than me.
Is that how you pronounce it? Dachshund? I don't know. I love my dog so much, but I don't know anything about dogs. I'm like trying to learn.
My brother had a Dachshund. I didn't know what they were about. My brother actually. Can you see me? Am I back?
No, we can see you. We can see you.
Moving around.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're very weird.
My brother had a Dachshund, and I know it was cool. Her name was Madeline, whatever. But he asked me to dog sit for him. He's like, "Can you dog sit?" And we're going on vacation. I was like, "Fine." And I didn't know about Dachshunds, and I went to sleep. And then about an hour after I went to sleep, all of a sudden I started feeling something in my feet. And the dog, because they're burrowers, they're actually they're hunting dogs, so they're comfortable underneath things. So it burrowed up under the sheets and came up from foot first while I was sleeping, and came up into my crotch to sleep. And that's where it was comfortable under the covers, completely under the covers. Yeah, that's about as far as I'll go. But yeah, it was
fair enough.
Cool dog.
Yeah.
After
that would be a good.
Earlier took my dog for the walk I talked about, and then I was laying on the couch. He climbed up, and he climbed up on top of me, then rolled over and laid on me like I sent a picture to Deshaun with me on the couch for an hour and a half, completely unconscious, snoring and pawing away at the air. What he's doing, dreaming. For an hour and a half, it was great. Just chill with me and my goodest dummy.
Yeah. Well, let's hear Sean talk about how awesome his dog is.
Yeah, Sean, good.
I have Carrie, how many fish do we have?
Fish?
Really? Yeah.
Hold on.
I got silverware in my drawer. And you want to talk about that, or
we had 4 fish, and now we have 3 fish.
I have grains of rice in my pantry. What else do you want to talk about? I asked about dogs.
So yeah, my fish are great.
Fish
are great.
Yeah, sashimi or sushi? What?
I don't know. One of them's purple, one of them's yellow, one of them's pink. They're pretty good.
Sounds like my socks.
Yeah.
Wait, Sean, seriously, are you allergic to dogs and cats or what?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
I kind of remember this. Yeah, that's why I was being serious, because I kind of remember us having a conversation.
No, I definitely am. But the thing is, I love dogs, so it's a thing. When Mike brought Bruce over a few weeks ago, about a month ago. Either way, yeah, we were socially distancing and whatever. We were doing our responsible shit and
You don't have to preface any time you interact.
Socially distanced.
Yeah, but Bruce was not socially distancing himself. Bruce was running around like an animal to all of us and gave us all diseases.
He definitely made me break out in hives, which is cool. Which is
true.
which is fine. But yeah, no, it sucks. Like I love dogs. I hate cats, so cats fuck themselves.
Yeah, cats are.
But dogs I do love. So eventually I do want to get a dog, and I know
never gonna happen because he's a brat.
If you heard that, that was my wife. Eventually we'll get a dog that's.
He's afraid.
Yes.
Eventually we'll get a dog that's hypoallergenic, right, Mike?
Sure.
So Michael commented, I personally enjoyed the live with the brewer owner from Hot Butcher. Would love to see more content with brewers involved with live tasting and discussion. I mean, I don't want to bring up the comment again, but that is something I've talked about a few times. Where I loved that. I think that was such a cool thing, such a cool experience for us, and I hope for them as well. Having someone involved with a brewery as you're drinking their beer, but then which was a part of it. But we got to talk about so many other things, beer industry, their brewery specific. Yeah, I would love to do way more of that kind of stuff. And we've talked about this a lot. It's just sometimes it's hard to nail these people down to want to, do these kinds of live streams or be available or whatever. I would love to do it.
Time zones suck too, right? Like obviously, like we're like on the East Coast, so like
actually it ends up making it easier.
Well, it's Kyle and I are kind of like a little bit kind of like, oh, well, we'd like to go to bed at like.
No, I'm that guy.
People.
Most breweries want to do it early. That's the thing. But regardless, I don't know if we talked about this or I talked about this in the live stream or post live stream. But it's not a matter of getting a brewer on. It's about getting a brewer on who wants to engage and talk and actually sit and that's why the Hot Butcher thing was enjoyable from our end of things, but also from a viewer standpoint, because Jeremiah was not just there to answer questions. He genuinely wanted to engage and have a good conversation and have fun. Yeah. So it's not so much I can get fucking brewers all the time, but they just sit there and kind of pull their pud and do nothing and just be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's cool. Whatever, blah, 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 and go. But when you can get somebody that actually is interested and wants to engage, that's the hard part. So, we talked about it previously. Other brewers, and I got to work on it, but yeah, we'll do it. We'll do more.
I feel like sort of like Jeremiah would have been happy to shoot the shit about anything. It's good that we talked about the beer and stuff, but he just seemed to be happy to be shooting the shit with people. Honestly, I mean,
and that's kind of what that came off as, like that, like. It was a few hours, but it really, honestly, like there were questions asked, but like it felt like we were just all kind of just talking the whole time. It was very communal, very like just easy.
He seemed equally happy to talk about other people's beers than his own. Honestly, he seemed like he was a fan. It didn't feel like he was just sitting there like as an advertisement. It didn't feel that way,
It was really cool talking about like other Chicagoland breweries with him. Like that was really rad. Yeah.
Who's watching a kung fu movie?
It does sound like I'm not watching anything.
Oh, I think it's whatever Curry's watching right next to me.
It's fine. I'm just curious.
I know the Nerd Sense guys weren't big fans of Narcos years, but I'm sure the brewer owner for Artisanal would totally love to do something like that. He's done a few local podcasts. When he invited me to hang out with him at the brewery and just talk about beer for a couple hours, where we weren't filming anything. It was just two dudes talking. So I know I could get him. I could send you guys some of his stuff, and we could talk and drink. Other than him, I don't think I'd have to like reach out to people I don't know. He's the only person I know personally. Well, actually, you know what?
Well, no, Pariah would do it. Pariah would definitely do it.
And maybe we could get Pariah to start.
Mortalis would do it. They already said they'd do it. I just didn't follow up. Like, there's a bunch of people that would do it.
Mike, I bet we could get Aaron to do it. I bet Aaron would do it if we asked. Yeah,
Aaron would do it in a heartbeat, I'm sure.
Sean Hill from Hill Farmstead would do it, totally.
No, he would not. Aaron from who, guys?
Sean, remember the time? Remember the time that Sean Hill shadowed us in a comment before?
Oh yeah, he was.
Wait, what happened?
Sean Hill can go fuck himself.
Wait, what happened?
Oh,
direct quote.
I don't know this story. I don't think I know this story.
Oh, it's not that big a deal, but it was just some
Mike,
snotty kind of.
Because Carrie just yelled at me for saying that word in front of Kaylee. But go ahead, you can finish.
Hill? You're not allowed to say Hill.
Oh no.
I know.
Sean Hill is a way worse thing than the thing I did say. Yeah, no, I forget what it was. Sean and I did a review, I think, and like his only comment was something that Sean said wrong somehow in the video. It was just very succinct and harsh and to the point. It was
just like really like jerkish. It was just like so awful. It was like not awful, but like it was just like you could have said it a little bit nicer. Like you couldn't have been like an idiot about it.
Well, the thing is weird is like
I'm trying to like
I think it was probably
make it sound better, but
well, it was I think one of the first times we ever got a comment on anything. It was from him.
Yeah,
I was
like, wow, what a
like, we were averaging
DB.
6. Just like now, back then we were averaging 6 viewers per episode, and he had one with him. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Quality, not quantity, baby. Yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
mean, that's the thing. Like, yeah.
No, listen, his beer is good. I just feel like his attitude sucks sometimes. This is my opinion.
That was
Well,
it. Yeah.
I think he's kind of famous for being. I don't want to say like.
He's a curmudgeon, man. He's
Yeah.
a curmudgeon, man. He names his beer after fucking his great grandfather in poetry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Actually, Sean, real quick comment. I blame you for Kaylee hearing these things. I didn't put her there. You did. I win. You lose.
I guarantee you that's exactly a fact. I'm sorry for. Yeah, I suck. I'm a pretty terrible dad for screaming that, and then I get yelled at from.
I mean,
all right, hey, ladies, I gotta go. I'm gonna go watch some sports ball.
Oh yeah,
sports ball.
Thanks, Mike.
What are you watching? The fight or
fighting? Yeah, UFC.
Okay, yeah.
But the car's been a couple hours. I've been doing this instead.
Hey, bro, tip: there's no balls involved in fighting.
Yeah, go watch Matt Mitrione fighting that Russian guy who kicked him in the crotch, and the fight was ended on his balls. Just putting that out there. I will see you ladies later.
Later.
Mike,
bye.
Love you.
Mike's a good dude. Despite everything he says, he's actually a good guy.
Despite everything he says and does and acts and all that stuff, every square inch of what he is, he's really a
good dude. He's a good dude.
No, he's actually my kind of dude.
Mike,
no, I love Mike.
Yeah,
he's
Mike.
like
you
exactly
two need to have like your like wrestling, not wrestling. Sorry, like boxing, like fighting podcast. Like you guys.
I will destroy him into dust. He thinks it's like if it ends up being like I like boxing more than you contest, then
no, I'm not even saying that. Like,
no, that's when it'll happen. No, that's where all these things. Listen, you have two people talking about fighters, talking about opinions, and talking about stuff. Yeah, no, it'll come down to that, and I will destroy him, and I'll feel bad because I genuinely like him, and I don't like to pick on people that are much weaker than me.
Two things.
Go on, Kyle. I don't even know what to say to that.
Anyway,
that's antagonistic for me. Yeah.
So two things. I'll mention this first, and then the other thing, which I think actually lends itself to what you guys were just talking about. Eclipse Brewing in the house. So that's the one that the homebrew that I just did the unboxing of, and I'm really excited to do my first homebrew beer review.
Nice.
So Eclipse is in the house. Very professional. We looked at the.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, the stickers. Different
kangaroos fuck the world.
I mean, I'm trying to, what else was there? There was coasters. Actually, wait. So Sean, you didn't see these beers, right?
No.
He did.
Oh,
he
wait.
did
No.
An altogether beer, and then actually, Sean, you'll really appreciate this. His Dick Hazy beer.
Dude, that's absolutely dude, that's insane.
That can
Dude,
art
that's
sick,
insane.
right? Yeah.
That can art is so sick.
That
Can
can
you
art.
peel that? Is that label going to be super easy to peel off of the sticker? Because that's got to be something you got to put on something. You can't just throw that can away.
It might go with like my can art. Like
Yeah, it has to. Yeah, that is
it might
that's
go up
amazing.
there. And then the other thing, actually, speaking to Sean, and actually what Matt was just saying in terms of Mike. So the guys at Nerd Sense, and I don't know when you're going to post it, but they just started a new feature of their channel, the Corner Pub, which is similar to what we're doing right now, where we're just kind of like talking like we're people just sitting at a bar. And I know Matt wants to, or not wants to, will be doing it. But what do you kind of want to do with that a little bit, Sean, before I click on some more comments?
Oh wow, way to put me on the spot because it was Mike's idea, but
Well, I wanted Mike. I was gearing up to have Mike talk about it, but then he watched the UFC or boxing or whatever it was.
Honestly, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. We recorded it. Obviously, me, you, and Mike recorded it. I'm waiting to when we're gonna release it, but we're waiting to release it because we're waiting on if anyone watched episode 120 of Nerd Sense when we got 500 subscribers, we did that. We did we talked about our buddy Sean, who did our theme song and then also did another song for the Juice Boy Chronicles we did. We're actually waiting on a theme song from him for that episode.
Gotcha.
So we're looking for a theme song for Corner Pub. He's already done it. He hasn't done it. He's released, well, not released, but he sent Mike and I like a hymning, like a version of it, and like we're kind of going back and forth, like what's going on with it, and we're waiting for the final version, and that's when we're gonna release it. But Corner Pub is gonna be.
I didn't talk about that. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's really fun. So Corner Pub, but like Kyle said, it's gonna be basically just us, just not even us, just whoever it is. It's gonna be us and Kyle, us and Matt, us and just friends we know. We were even thinking about saying like let's have like us and like Kyle, and then like one of Kyle's friends, or just people we don't like. You don't have to know because like if we went to a pub, right? Like it could be Kyle be like, hey, this is my friend so and so. This is my friend Josh. This is my friend Joe. At that point, that's what you do at a bar, right? So we're just thinking about doing stuff like that. Like this is just going to be like an hour and a half type thing. It was Mike's idea. Again, this is not my idea. It was Mike's idea. And he now I'm put on the spot, but it was Mike's idea where he just wanted to have something that we could just do a fun conversation. And if we do it live stream, we do it live stream. If not, we do it as an audio podcast, or we just do it as a hour and a half YouTube stream.
I mean, why not both as far as I'm concerned? But yeah, it was cool. And like, it was the first episode and we were talking, actively in that, before that, after that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, very much just you sit down at a bar with your buddies and like, yeah, maybe you have a doctor's appointment that day. You're not there. So it's Mike and Matt, and Sean's not even part of it, or whatever. And it's just kind of however often you guys want to do it or don't want to do it. But yeah, definitely really cool. Eclipse is saying thanks, man. Yeah, no, and thanks for sending the beer. That's obviously awesome. Yeah, and that can art was very cool. I agree. I'm going to have to go back and see unboxing now. Yes, I'm a ton. It's cool, man. I had a bunch of random stuff at the same time. I just thought this live stream would be a good way to do it all at once. Do any of your channels have shirts or hats? That's a good question, Clint. I have nothing. The Nerd Sense guys, you guys have stickers?
We have stickers.
And then
people want stickers. If people want stickers, we'll get stickers.
And Matt, you have stickers
and the funny thing is, I'm actually wearing the shirt. I'm actually wearing our shirt today, and I swear to God, it's not on purpose.
But you guys don't have shirts to sell or anything, right?
No. We have been thinking about buying shirts, because clearly, if you have to get shirts for something, you're gonna have to get it in bulk, and then you're gonna have to sell it.
Yeah.
So, but if people want stickers, we have stickers. We can mail them. It's easy.
And then Matt, you have stickers too. I don't know if what you do with stickers. I mean, you've done some mystery beers that you've sent us with your sticker on it, but
the stickers are literally just because one day I was like, I want fucking stickers, and I didn't tell anybody about them. I don't know.
Stickers are
great. I don't have anything. Yeah, I have. Actually, you know what? Like the thing that I typically do, if people ask for fucking whatever swag or whatever. I do that thing. You know how like in Asia, like girls like send their panties to people. That's what I do. So I send my boxer briefs. If you want anything, so let me know. I'll send you a very heftily worn pair of Hanes boxer briefs and a box with a sticker. And yeah, that's what I do. I do stinky panties.
I think Clinton is going to comment not interested. That's just a guess I have.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Clinton's going to say interested. All right, well, so you shut your mouth hole.
Clinton,
so here's something that
ping me on the side. I will send you stickers, and I actually will also send you a couple of Massachusetts beers. And if you want mystery beers, say you want a mystery.
Nice. So this is something I don't think I'll actually film it, but one of the things I try to do is, like, if it's like a new beer tuber and I like what they do, I try to, like, especially now that you can do the community posts, be like, hey, check out these people. And there's been a couple, I shouldn't say a couple, there's been quite a few who start, and it seems like some of them like right off the bat, they're like, you know, here's my store, here's like my Patreon.
Yeah.
Here, and I kind of I don't think I'll ever actually film that, but like hey, you want to start a beer tube channel? Like, here's some ideas. You know, just do it. Don't, you know, like, I mean, I'm not going to name names. And actually, some of these people who I was like, I really like what you do. I haven't seen them post in a while, and it's just like, I think some people don't realize. I've been doing this for over 3 years. You don't get a lot of subs. Like it takes a long time to get a following. Like it's not some of these YouTube, you know, famous people ever. It might be fast, but like BeerTube is not the way to get quick, you know, things. And if you're trying to monetize and, like, you know, have supplemental income, I mean, you know, I saw some people who've been doing it for a while. They've gotten 0 Patreon, you know, and it's like, man, right out the gate, you're like, hey, you know,
yeah. There's some people that definitely like set up like a web store before they actually produce content. And it's kind of like,
sorry to interrupt you, Matt. You were right. Clinton wants
or like Patreon, like whenever like you see anyone like post a Patreon really quick, like, how do you possibly have a Patreon already? Like,
but then there's also like
going for.
Then there's also there's different. You know, I don't know how to put this. So, you know, there's somebody that started a YouTube channel not too long ago, and they're kind of a homebrew person. And, you know, their following has gotten super aggressive, popular. I mean, their channel has grown quite a bit in less than 6 months. But it has to do more with the person doing it than the homebrew portion of the show. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there's certain aspects of that. And it's kind of the same thing we talked about earlier, where, you know, if listen, if I looked like, you know, Brad Pitt, then my channel will get more followers. Now I do look like Brad Pitt, but on a puffy day after a lot of donuts, so I don't get as many followers, but. You get what I'm saying. So, you know, there's some people that are into the beverage. There's some people that are into the deliverer of the message.
Yes, for sure. Just so we're clear, where I was coming from is there's been a certain number of people I've seen who out the gate, it's really clear they're just trying to make, I shouldn't say they're only trying to make money, but like that's obviously a big part of it for them. And then they stop. Like pretty quickly, because I think they realize this isn't a venue to make a bunch of money, especially quickly. Whereas, so if I was going to make a video about like, hey, you want to start a beer tube channel or whatever, that would be a big thing I would hit is like, you got to do it because you want to do the actual thing. It's not like I like the thing. I love the idea of making money, Patreon, selling stuff. That's not going to happen with this, you know.
Which is a catch-22, man, because it actually ends up making it more of an enjoyable experience because you don't have to weed through that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that do like, you know, tech reviews or you know what I mean, unboxings of toys and stuff like that, to where you could genuinely be excited about those kind of things and love to do them, but you would just get lost in the noise. because there's so many people that make so much money doing those things where you don't really have to deal with that when it comes to beer tube. If you talk about beer tube as a whole, there's kind of again, we were talking about Mount Rushmore earlier. There's kind of a Mount Rushmore of beer tube. As far as I'm concerned, it was Stelzy from Beer Geek Nation. He was the one that really kind of made it happen at the get. Yep. You know what I mean? Then for me, beyond that, really the people, you could talk about Simon from Real Ale Guide. He's a little bit more kind of somewhere in between those two things. He does pizza and beer and food and all that kind of stuff, but he has a huge following base. Somebody who's not far off of me, I'm less than 100 away from 8,000, and he's closing in on 10 would be Peter from Master Hoppets. He's the one that I've always really enjoyed. And beyond that, who else is really there as far as viewership and people watching? So there's and even the most popular people, because you talk about Peter, he's probably one of the more kind of respected people when it comes to kind of beer tubing, but he's less than 10,000 viewers. You have Greg, who's at 30,000, but his viewership is less than people at 5,000. So take that for what it's worth. Real Ale Guide has a really big fan base, stuff like that. So even if you take the most, and there's people in Europe that have 1 million followers that talk about beer, but it's in a language they don't understand, and they cover just macro, adjunct lager and stuff like that. Anyway, point being is, even if you're the most popular person in the genre, you're still not going to make, because you need to make real money on YouTube. You need 1 million views per video constantly. Consistently, and that's not going to happen in beer. So it ends up being one of those things where you end up, it's almost everybody who's in it for the long haul is doing it because they've enjoyed doing it. Yeah. Now that could change, who knows? But that's one of the endearing things about it. Yeah. And then there's some people who keep doing it because they think it's going to be that way, and we're blindfolds. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, no comment. It would be the people who want to do it for the wrong reasons, I guess, is the short version. Yeah. And it is I started, this is going to sound random, but it is related. I started playing Mario Maker 2 on my Nintendo Switch. And one reason I ended up getting that game is I was watching some videos of people playing. I'm like, oh, this is cool. The different kinds of levels people play. And I like side scrollers. It's just how I grew up kind of video games. I was playing with side scrollers, so I want to, play more of those. And you see some of these video game people, the amount of subscribers they have, of viewers they have. The one guy I watch, he got a deal with Reebok. So you have that thing happening on YouTube.
Oh no! No, dude.
Which is,
if you want to make,
it's insane.
If you want to make money right now as a beer tuber, no one's done it, dude. Go open a beer tuber Twitch channel with live donations.
Let's all start.
Probably make
beer and playing Mario.
Yeah, and not even playing Mario, but just do because you don't have to be a video game channel to do Twitch.
PUBG or,
you know what I mean? Yeah. But no, not even video games. You just go on Twitch and drink beer. But the live donation portion of the show to get a follower base, it'll give you money. Listen, I get a ton. I get free beer. That's all I care. I don't know. Here's the thing though, and I joke about Kyle monetizing and all that kind of stuff. If for some bizarre reason I posted a video that garnered me 1 million followers and I was getting crazy, I'd monetize in a second. I'd find some way to make money off of that. I'm not sitting here being high and mighty, fuck the dollar, but it just doesn't equate to anything that makes logical sense to me right now. I'll get, I get free beer from viewers, which is fucking amazing. Over 50% of the beers I drink are from viewers, not from breweries, not from myself. That in of itself is crazy. So that is the biggest perk for me right now. Not that I need that to do things, but it's one of the biggest perks. But it's anything beyond that is just gravy. Yeah. But if I had the chance to make a living doing this, I would do it. But it's not going to happen. So.
Well, that's the thing I talk about or have talked about. I forget on camera or off camera. I think on camera I mentioned it. But I love the show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. if they were to, once everything opens back up, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, we can't be friends anymore.
You're
talking
this
about
so
Guy
many
Fieri.
times.
I know, but
You're
like
talking about Guy Fieri. I'm
whatever.
done.
But no, but like,
friend.
have I talked about? You're right. You're right, Sean.
No, but I get what you're saying though.
If
This
we were
is
going to
I
do
get
a
it.
show, we're like, hey, we want to visit 3 breweries an episode. We need a host, and they're like, do you want to host it? I'd be like 1,000 times yes. Like that would be amazing. Obviously, and I love my job so much, and and we talk about this on and off camera. Like it's like one of the biggest bummers in my life right now is like I'm not doing the teaching part of my job in person, and it sucks. I don't get that, the love of the thing, But yeah, if they wanted to do that, I'd be like, well, that's awesome.
That show's been tried before. That show they tried to do that show before, it's failed. The one thing about like beer, like 90% of the people in the world are about food. Like 20% of the people are about beer.
Yeah,
the viewer base isn't there.
I could, but and I've said this before, like something like streaming like Netflix. I mean, I could see because they do, or at least they'll try enough different kinds of things. You might get at least a season out of it. I mean, I don't know. There was a good New York PBS through the New York PBS. They did a good series when they did that. They visited. They broke up into regions, and each episode was a different region. They'll try to do like a bigger brewery, like Omegang, and then more of like a local brewery. And then Pennsylvania just started there. I forget the name of it, but I subscribed to them on YouTube.
But I think the people that did that in New York were actually Broadway actors. I think that people that actually did that show in New York were actually like legitimate like actors from Broadway that had pull in the community that ended up just doing a passion project.
Maybe we're thinking of 2 different shows. This one
I could be wrong.
This one was
shit all over it then, I guess.
No, there were 2 hosts. The female was more of a reporter, and the guy was more of like a beer nerd thing. So you kind of had like the reporter inquisitive thing, and then you had like the guy geeking out kind of a thing. I don't know.
I could be wrong. But what I'm saying is there's a 2 stage actors in New York. There's 2 stage actors in New York that just so happens that not only are they stage actors, they're beer nerds. So they actually like had like a pull to do a show about beer because they had the ins. I could be totally wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying, I'm just saying if I walked into a television channel, I'll be like, hey, send me the breweries, I'll talk about it. They're not going to do it. You know what I mean? But if I was the son of fucking, you know what I mean, like Scorsese, and I'm like, I want to do a documentary about beer, they'd be like, yeah, motherfucker, you could totally do a documentary about beer. You know what I mean? So that's where the disconnect is. It's if you have a good idea about that, it's not going to resonate unless you have some kind of secondary pull. That's
obviously, yeah. Me talking about it on a random live stream is not going to get Netflix to contact me, but I do think the cost versus potential viewership. I mean, it wouldn't. Whatever. I mean, this is. Yeah, it's not going to happen. But I don't. I mean, whatever. I mean, there is evidence. You have the Dogfish Head show, which I quite enjoyed. There was only 6 or 7, 8 episodes. But then it ran into sponsorship issues because they're promoting craft beer. And then it was like Blue Moon was a sponsor. They're like, well, we don't want to sponsor this craft beer thing, so cancel it. Which is another reason why I think
actually, as much as they're hyper douchebags, my favorite one was the Brewdogs show. Yeah, that was by far and away the best one.
That was really good.
You know what I mean? And like they're like genuinely. I don't want to say genuinely what's wrong with beer, but they're kind of just marketers that make beer, but that show was genuinely entertaining and they did interesting things like that. What was the worst one? What was that one with Meg from Golden Road? What was the fucking one that was hot like garbage?
Golden Road was clearly trying to just get themselves.
I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah, Meg Gill from Golden Road. That was straight dumpster fired.
Yeah.
But
fucking hot garbage.
I think the thing though, when you think back on it, like, do you want to really have this type of thing? I don't know if I know Kyle and I have talked about him, but Matt, I don't know if you know who he is. Bert Kreischer. He was on Travel Channel for a while, and like listening to him and like his like experiences of like how it was to be on like a show like it's almost like it's not good. You know what I mean? Like it would just be like artificial. Like you would be forced to, especially this day and age, you would be forced into you'd probably find a state, right? They would, let's imagine it. You'd have like, I don't know, let's say 6 states. And then out of those 6 states, you would find the most popular brewery. And maybe they're like, all right, let's not do an InBev brewery. Let's find somebody else. You would have that one brewery and you'd be kind of forced into it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would expect if this ever happened to somebody, or if, like, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be truthful, and you would, one of us would want to do it. It would be amazing to do it. Like, and just like Bert says, like, he was like so excited to be doing this like travel channel thing, and like he was like his first gig and stuff like that, and then he did it and he was like, holy shit, this is not what I was expecting it to be. And it's not.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, go ahead. Sorry, Sean.
No. That's what I was. That's pretty much where I was ending it. I was like, that's pretty much it. Go ahead.
No, I mean, like, we kind of touched on this, oddly enough, earlier when we were talking about Garrett Oliver. I mean, Michael Jackson is like the end all be all. Have you guys, like, to be honest, have you watched Michael Jackson's videos, his actual videos? Like the Michael Jackson Beer Hunter videos. Have you watched them?
What I could find. This was years ago. Was it YouTube or somewhere? I found some videos posted somewhere online, and I found them. I'm sure I didn't watch all of them, but yeah, I watched what I could find.
I have not watched all of them. Yeah,
I don't know, 8 years ago, whatever it was. It was definitely before I did BeerTube. I found videos posted online somewhere and watched some.
And like he's the one that is like legitimately like the one that made something in a video format. Like, if you actually go watch the Beer Hunter videos, if you guys can't find them or never watched them, not just you guys, but anybody in the chat or watching this afterwards, just reach out to me. I will send you the videos. I have them all cataloged and stuff like that. And like, it's just a great watch to watch the man talk about beer. I'll actually put one of my favorite ones, and it's actually semi-sad, but at the same time really relevant in the actual chat, is when he was basically, before he died, he had Parkinson's and he was kind of going down. And you have to understand, like, Michael Jackson was on Conan O'Brien. He was on Jay Leno. Like this is like in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s when nobody drank beer. So you had this personality going out, and it's not like he was on a major network. It was mostly PBS, BBC based shit that wasn't highly promoted. And it was just his love of going around and drinking beer. And I was lucky enough to actually sit and drink a beer with the man, because I was oddly lucky enough, but also doomed enough to enjoy beer early enough. But it's like, that's the thing that people need to get back to. And that's the person that was more kind of the voice of beer. I don't know. It's just, it's weird. I don't know what to say. Otherwise, I'm just going to comment in there. One of my favorite videos. It's kind of hard to watch because he has Parkinson's at this time and he's talking about beer, but you can actually see how much this dude just genuinely loves beer. And all he wants to do is sit around and talk about beer with people, which is kind of the whole point.
I'll tie it to what we were just talking about too, Matt. Like, there's obviously a lot of people drink craft beer, and then those of us, and I'll include us obviously, who are trying to like talk about craft beer on some sort of platform. It's so minuscule, and how much before any of us tried to do this, he was doing it. So yeah, I mean, definitely props to him, and being that passionate, excited, and doing it way before anyone else. No, and again, going back when we do our Mount Rushmore thing, I mean, obviously he's going to be a contender. There's no question of that.
But it's like one of those weird. It's weird because it's so, you can be so removed from the past, but when you go and look at the past, you realize how not removed. I love Sean with like, I'm drunk, I'm just leaving.
Sean's like, I gotta do that.
Yeah. Which I've done that Irish goodbye all the time. But like you realize the past. You look at the past as so long ago, but you have Michael Jackson, who died decades ago. At this point, it was almost 15 years, 13 years that he got. Anyway, regardless, you see him doing a video where he's revisiting Russian River in California.
Yeah.
You'd be like, wait, he went to Russian River? Be like, well, yeah, because that brewery's been around that long, and just to see him go visit that place and stuff like that. Anyway, know your past to know your future. That's all I'm saying.
100%.
So yeah, I'm done, dude. I think too. I think it's a good time to actually sign off.
2 hours. I plan on doing about an hour, so it's like always. Like let's time it. Let's do like an hour, and then we end up doing way more. But
awesome, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for joining, and we've been trying to do at least one of these a week, so I'm glad we could do one, and we'll plan a little bit better hopefully next week to do one, and thanks for being on it, Matt. Obviously, everyone watching, check out Matt's channel, check out the Nerd Sense guys channel, check out Joe from the Beer Patrol, etc., etc.
Don't check out Joe.
Don't check
anyway.
Out. I don't want to say that, but I do feel strongly. No, he's great. He's a good dude, and hopefully he'll get on one of these in the next 2, 3, 4 years. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Eventually.
Cheers, everyone. See you later.
See you guys.